Go to sleep. No. Don't even start. Don't even start waking up. Go to bed. Go to bed, Ellie. You were literally falling asleep. There you go. Good girl. Late again? Never. Never have her. Well, hold on. I'm trying to whisper right now. I'm trying to make sure Ellie goes to bed. She was chilling. She was calm. Hope you guys are doing good, man. Yo, what's up? Yo, 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 yo. Damn, there's already 10 of you guys here. That was quick. Damn. Okay. So we got Google Translate Chan open up here. Okay. I think Opera GX just froze. No, they didn't freeze. We're good. Okay. Ellie, come on. Really? You're waking up? 6-hour stream. Let's go. Bet. Probably not 6 hours. Hi. Ellie, do you want to say good morning to everybody? You want to tell everybody we're having such a good nap? Yeah? No? You don't want to say hi? You want to say hi? You want to go out? You want to stay in bed? Don't look at my boogers. It's nasty. Bro, I'm sick. Hey, you know what's crazy? My nose has been slightly congested, but I'm not sick, so we're good. 6-hour Ellie nap. You know what's funny, man? When we do that 24-hour stream, I'm gonna sleep on camera, but I'm gonna kind of like put like a video playing like on the bed so you guys don't see me, in case I like scratch my butt or something. You know, you guys don't see that, but I think we'll be good. Hi, Ellie. Hi. You good? Good morning. Hey, I'm gonna put you down, okay? Do you want to go out? You're gonna stay here? You want to take a nap? Hey, Easy, you should turn the music from YouTube video to MP3 file so there won't be no ads. Tell me why I was thinking the same thing, man. Well, here's the thing. I've been recently playing like some music from YouTube, some from Spotify. I have some songs officially downloaded, but you know, I have to double check. I'm using everything at my availability. One sec. Let me see if Ellie wants to go out. Wait, I'm done. I'm muted. My bad. All right, hey, how's the new camera position? I put it further back, slightly down. The last one felt a little bit too close. I figured this would be better. Just bear with me 1 sec. Oh, I'm gonna fix the curtain because there's too much light coming in. Bear with me. Maybe not. Maybe I can't do anything. That's it. I probably have to put like another tarp or something here, dude, and cover up. It's alright. It's good enough. It's good for now. I think it's okay. Easiest rivals picking up slack. New arc? What new arc? Oh, what's up, Emma? Long time no see. What's up? What's up? Yeah, 20 of you guys here. We're gonna catch up. We'll be caught up in like a day. When is the gaming with chat stream? I was gonna tell you guys. I've been thinking about gaming like on Tuesdays, like on this day. You have a rival? I do have a rival. My arch nemesis. Let me see. Yeah, no, I know you guys were sending the clips. I've been looking at them. All right, 1 sec. I have other potential stream music playing in the background before we start reading. So as long as it doesn't get picked up, we can use them in like the feature streams. So I know the last two I played didn't get picked up. Look at the latest one real quick. Let's see. I kind of like the camera like this. It's pointing down. You can see like the edge of my PC monitor, but I think it's cool. You said the latest one? Clip highlights, right? Competition. Competition. Is this one?
My plan is like from a decent bit this week too, but from next week especially, I'm reading like 40 or 50 chapters a week. My plan is to
Damn.
get caught up with Easy, where he is in like 2 months tops. I don't know how long he's been reading, but I'm gonna just outpace the shit. Because when school's done, I'm applying to positions and stuff, but like I have a lot of free time for the moment, so I'm gonna stream like there's no tomorrow. Can I read this, Romero, or not? My plan is like
I take that as a competition.
from,
Bet. GG challenge accepted. All right, guys, everybody, shut the fuck up. You're done for. Everybody, shut the fuck up. Back to reading. Back to reading. Zero stalling. No, I'm fucking kidding. It sucks, man. My time is so fucking limited. Holy shit, man. Not gonna lie, you made me go all out with Elotim. You know what? I'm happy. That challenge accepted, man. I'm low-key kind of cooked. When he said 40 a week, I'm like, ooh. He's like, hey, man, slow down, bro. There's really no rush, dude. He's like, there's really no rush, brother. We're on the same team here. Hey, want to catch up to see so you can hear your crackpot theory? You know what, bro? You should send him my crackpot theories, like when he finishes volume 1. I think that'd be pretty cool. Because I know you said he's more lore focused, right, on recalling things, and I know I'm not. Yeah, he wants to cook theories with you. You know what's funny? When he finishes volume 1, but we gotta talk, bro. I need to talk with that dude on stream. I want to know what he loves about it. I want to see what he came up with. I'm at volume 2, and I feel kind of sad because there's not much left. Okay. Oh, I kept reading thinking there was a spoiler after he said sad, but I risked it and read the whole thing. All right. I'll go through the rest of the clips. Messenger loves to just. I really hope we have a happy ending. That's a good clip. Appear and jump scare. It's scaring me. He wanted to know where to contact you. Discord. I think so. Yeah. If he doesn't have Discord, I think I'm gonna have to make my Instagram. About the ships? No, don't tell him yet. Actually, you guys can tell him about you guys can tell him about my ships once he gets to that point. He's gonna be like, what the fuck is this shit? The forbidden one? Yeah, you guys can tell him about the forbidden one. Be like, guess what his most cursed ship was? Wait, you guys had 2 streams today. Was he streaming earlier? Okay. But look, man, here's the thing. I have a couple days off next week. Because I guess that's spring break. Well, I mean, it's currently spring break this week and then it's spring break next week. So I have a few days next week. But yes, me and Miss Easy Geeky, we're planning like a little road trip. But when we come back, we'll make it up for lost time. And then I think on Saturday, I'm going to try and stream as much as I can before I have to go to a party. It takes you multiple business days to contact you on Discord. That is because I haven't been active. Yeah, my bad. Yeah, he streams in the morning while you stream in the afternoon. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, so I guess we have like opposite schedules. Okay. I mean, we can probably plan something then on the weekend. So we can like talk together because I know he has school, right? So he might be free on the weekends. Yeah. Okay. All right, let's keep reading then. I think this is... We had a few tracks playing that should be safe. So we've played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, he streams in the morning. Yes, but... Wait, hold up. Does he have a Discord? Unlimited content, here I come. Alright, let's keep going. I got the chapter open. Let me get ready. And let me put this playlist up here, and we will start. He has a Discord? Okay, I'll add him then as a friend on Discord. I'll look at it then. I'll add him. Easy's like, finally, a worthy opponent. Our battlefield will be legendary. Dude, please tell me you guys have played Final Fantasy XIV, man. Oh, without getting to spoilers, towards the end of Endwalker, there's a villain. He's like, finally. Finally. Oh, it's so fucking badass. He even joined your Discord, but left it to avoid getting spoiled. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. That sounds safe. All right, but I'll look at it then. All right, we'll look at it then after. This song played. We're good. We can't get scared and let somebody else catch up to us. We have such a good head start. We're gonna have to keep it that way. We have to keep it that way. All right. The song ends in 20 seconds. Okay, let me get my notepad open. Get my notepad open and ready. I have water. I'm gonna turn on my air in a little bit. My ceiling fan, because it's fucking hot in here. Let's see. Okay, the song ended. So at the end of the stream, we'll continue with Emil's Sacrifice. Oh, wait, that's my gym playlist. Can't play that one. That one's copyrighted. Yeah, we can't risk that one. All right, we're gonna start the recording right away. Zero stalling. We've been live for like 30 seconds, and we will continue. Wait, Romero, yeah, send me good background track for Wuthering Waves. I'll keep it playing. But for now, Lord of Mysteries, chapter 368. We now have a worthy opponent that's catching up to us, and we got to keep the pace going. Now that we have a worthy opponent. Well, if you guys like what you're going to see, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. And for now, we're going to be reading chapter 368 of Lord of Mysteries. Lord of the Mysteries, I apologize. Sorry, I missed the in that title. 368 is called Taking Him by Surprise. Bet. I'm excited. I was kind of scared after we were introduced to Amon, but I'm getting 50-50. Some people like him and some people hate him. So like I'm kind of skeptical, but we'll see what happens. But here, let's pause, update, and let's keep reading. Yo, what's up, OG? What's up, dude? Yo. Okay, let me open this one quickly.
So excited for book club.
Oh my god, I'm also super excited for book club. Yo, crazy. What's crazy, girl? Okay, 0 minutes and 57 seconds. Romero, you're gonna hate my fucking ass, but I started playing Honkai Star Rail again the other day. Because you guys were saying, yo, I wish I played from the beginning so I can see all the Lord of Mysteries references. I'm like, no fucking way there's references. Downloaded it, and it's like, you can change pathways. I started cracking up. And then the main character, there's a version of her with a half top hem. Like, okay, all right, that's pretty cool. Like, who is this? Who is she? The Fool? That was pretty cool. I'm seeing like clowns and everything, and like some of the new content. I'm like, okay, this is pretty cool. That was pretty cool. I'll loop this one. I got you, Romero. Let's loop this bad boy. If I have to mute the VOD, we blame Romero because I never played it ahead of time. But it's Wuthering Waves music. It's video game music. I think we're good. All right. Let me pause this. Oh, it's a little loud. Let me turn it down right here. If this fits or doesn't fit, you guys let me know. I'm gonna put a little bit extra low today. All right. We're zero stuttering today. On God. Zero stalling and zero stuttering. All right, here we go. Everything's updated. Everything's ready. Let's keep the music playing the second we start the recording. All right. Chapter 368. Taking him by surprise, the stone pillars of the ancient and majestic palace supported the high dome. Klein sat at the end of the long bronze table holding a translucent brown bottle. He checked it over and over again, but he didn't sense any danger from it. Let's begin. He conjured a pen and paper and wrote the divination statement, its origin. Putting the fountain pen away and bracing himself for a blow, Klein glanced at the paper and the biological poison bottle, leaned back in his chair and entering cognition while reciting the statement. Hold up, I'm not gonna lie, I gotta lower the volume, at least for me. It's really loud on my end. Okay, we're good. Yo, are you guys there? Did my chat freeze? Wait, because it said error. No, we're good. We're good. Okay, we're good. Let's begin. I almost reread that. Putting the fountain pen away and bracing himself for a blow, Klein glanced at the paper in the biological poison bottle, leaned back in his chair and entered cognition while reciting the statement. Soon he entered a hazy gray dream world and saw a dark but spacious room. There were king cobras, black widows, and other strange plants and animals in the room. It was a messy and harrowing scene. A middle-aged man in a white coat was standing in front of a long table, and in the middle of the room, he drew the snake gall and spider venom into the huge black pot that hung from the ceiling. In the end, he even put in a few items that possessed a strong spiritual luster. For example, they would sometimes disperse into a black gas, and other times condense into dark green lung-shaped objects. Otherwise, they would be in the form of a tube containing a clear azure liquid of fiery red eyes. Wait, question, are we live? Why does my thing's not updating on my end? Are we good? I have low latency. Let me see. Check. Yeah? Okay. You were just locked in since you started reading? Okay. Alright, okay, good. Because I had the error message. We live? Okay, we're good? Okay. Alright, we're good. No, because I saw the message that said, oh, stream buffered, but then we're good. Okay. If you have any more music that fits Romero, let me know. Alright. Let me find my place. And I found my place. In the end, he put in a few items that possess a strong spiritual lesser. For example, they will sometimes disperse. Let me read this part. They will sometimes disperse into a black gas and other times condense into dark green lung-shaped objects. Otherwise, they would be in the form of a tube containing a clear azure liquid or fiery red eyes. The air around the black iron gradually became vicious. It was gathering towards the center, but it was constantly being pushed aside, making it difficult to achieve its goal. When the white-robed middle-aged man saw this scene, his brow slowly creased, his expression looked slightly anxious. He flipped through the black notebook by his side, gritted his teeth, and used a ritual silver dagger to slice open his wrist. Ugh. Drop of fresh blood dripped into the black iron pot, seemingly breathing life into its content instantly. A terrifying suction force suddenly erupted, sucking in all the vicious air around it. The scarlet blood, which had yet to leave his wrist, was fully sucked into it. And that wasn't everything. Regardless of how the white-robed middle-aged man struggled to resist, or how he revealed a terrifying expression, he couldn't prevent his body from approaching the iron pot. His body was stretched, his head was compressed, and amidst his screams, he was eaten little by little by the pot. The hanging specimens, plants, and anything that could move or be moved all flew into the pot. Brown fog suddenly filled the room, quietly ebbing and flowing. By the time it was all over, the room was empty except for the brown translucent bottle lying quietly in the middle of the clearing. The scene quickly faded away and the dream world shattered. Klein opened his eyes and muttered to himself, "So the biological poison bottle is a product of a death-seeking experiment. I thought it was a bionic characteristic left behind by some beyonder." Oh, so it's not a What? I thought it was a bionic characteristic left behind by some beyonder. So this is a biological poison. Wait, so the biological poison bottle is a product of a death-seeking experiment. That's kind of wild. All right. If that were the case, I'd have been able to divine a formula to climb a rampager's spirituality and bionic characteristics, as well as a spirituality and bionic characteristic which was contaminated by an evil god, could all be used to divine a formula. Just like the all-black eye which the nimble right Master Rozago left behind. It was thanks to the isolation effect of the gray fog and how the mysterious space was able to eliminate negative influences, giving him the ability to court death. Of course, a bionic characteristics involved many other additional factors. In theory, the chances of failure were extremely high, but Klein only had the confidence to do so after advancing to magician. Similarly, a sealed artifact formed by bionic characteristics could also be used to divine the formula for a potion. However, if they were mainly ingredients, then through the production process and dangerous experiments done by an artisan or other beyonders, turning them into a mystical item, then Klein's divination would be useless at his current state. Even when the enhancement effects provided by the mysterious space above the gray fog, it was useless. Not bad. At least I don't have to worry about the biological poison bottle having any other latent risks anymore. Klein glanced at the werewolf Fang and wisely abandoned his curiosity. In Emperor's Borough, the opulent villa of Count Hall, Audrey continued her study in psychology. By her feet, the huge golden retriever Susie was sitting there. Her eyes shining from time to time, she wagged her tail as if enjoying the scene. Aww, that's such a cute scene. Look at her wagging her tail. Psychiatrist Escalante finished the introduction material and deliberately made a casual remark. Actually, there is such a theory. Oh, thank you for tuning in, Anime Wiz. Bet! I hear there's competition, bro! You're scaring me a little, bro. You think you're gonna catch up tomorrow? No, I'm kidding. I'm just joking, dude. The rival. My arch nemesis. I'm fucking joking, dude. I was telling him, dude, we gotta talk once you finish volume 1. Dude, when you finish volume 1, bro, we gotta talk, man. I'm so excited to see you get to, without spoiling anything, I'm so excited to see you to get to some of like the ending scenes, bro. Decline to my Leonard. Okay, all right. One main character versus another main character. I like that. Ayo, future collab right there. All right, when he finishes, hey, bro, I got tuned into your future streams, man. There's some crazy shit coming up. Buckle up, bro. It's so good. It's so good. It is so fucking good. You're gonna love it. He's gonna love it, dude. I know, dude. I'm gonna start tuning in at work, bro. I gotta see. You guys, you know what I mean, guys? Sounds good, man. I should be done with volume 1 soon, maybe like 2 weeks. Bet for sure, dude. Hell yeah. That sounds badass. Bet. I'm free on the weekends. You know what? I'm free any day. I won't stream. It's okay. Don't worry about it. You let me know. We'll link up. The two best only LOTIM only LOTIM readers right now. Are you guys ready? Let's continue, dude. I lost my fucking place. I lose my place way too much, man. Wait, hold up. Let me follow his channel before I forget. Let me follow. Let me follow so I don't forget. And he has a Discord. All right, I'll add him on Discord. By the way, where are the best places for me to reach you? No, I had an idea. No, you had an idea in my like, but I'll add you on Discord right now. You know what? Hold up. Let me add you on Discord right now before I forget. Let me join you. And then I see you right here. Hold up. I found you. Hold up. Give me 1 sec. I seen his Discord. Oh shit, you did send me. Well, I have his page up right here. Yeah, I just joined it. Yeah, I got it. I'm in. All right, I'm in. Now, how the hell do I send a fucking friend request? How do I see everybody in the thing? Oh, I see him right here. All right. Add. Bet, hit me up. You sent me his Discord? Bet. All right, I sent him a friend request. Yeah. Originally I was thinking like we can talk about like the ending of volume 1 when you get there. But yeah, hell yeah, dude, if you got any ideas, let me know, bro. Hell yeah, let's do it. All right. Let me drink some water and let's continue. What's with a sad face? All right. All my plans are like, all my plans are coming together. All right, I'm gonna go before I get spotted. All right, bet for sure. No, I'll see you around, bro. Yeah, dude, for sure. I'll see you around. All right. Let's close this. I sent you a friend request on Discord already. What? Before we continue, let me just make sure I can message. Yo. I'll just say yo. Some more music? Bet. Oh, you sent me this one. I remember this one. I got it. I got it right here. I got you, Romero. Let's loop this sucker. Alright. Now we'll continue. Alright. Fucking got me. I just read that guy. I thought he fucking spoiled me. Oh, that was funny. Hold up. I gotta lower the music on my end. Because I usually never keep music too loud. Unless it's like a crazy scene. But then I realized I stutter way too much. I lost my place. Let me find my place and let's continue. How does it get passed down? Encountered. And such actually psychiatric finish an introduction. Feeling afraid. Alright, we're gonna continue from right here. From the psychiatrist interaction. Psychiatrist Escalante finished the introduction material and deliberately made a casual remark. Actually, there is such a theory. It's believed that humans would inherit a certain amount of the ancestors' consciousness over the generations, thus forming the underlying logic of one's behavior patterns. Did they say inherit a certain amount of their ancestors' consciousness over the generations, thus forming the underlying logic of one's behavior pattern? For example, although many people have never seen a poisonous snake, they would have instinctively feel afraid and wish to avoid it once they've encountered one. Why is that? This is theorized to be an instinct that we inherited from our ancestors, something that is hidden in the deepest recesses of our consciousness. In ancient times, people constantly fought with poisonous snakes and all kinds of ferocious animals, and they gradually carved this memory into their consciousness and passed it down. How does it get passed down? Audrey asked with interest. Escalante, with her long hair which reached her waist, laughed. That's a very good question. Maybe that's where they got that insight to not look directly at God, right? Like maybe back then, like they like roamed the lands, right? Like in the Forsaken Lands. And it's like they feared them and like that genetic trait passed down. And now everybody's like, don't look like Klein automatically knew like I should not look at that, right? I can see how like that kind of ties together. Okay. Some people provide explanations that involve a theory that everyone's consciousness is actually connected at the lowest level. What? Okay. It is one entity, okay? And the traces and what the heck, okay? And the traces and characteristics left behind on this entity will affect the consciousness that belongs solely to them. I'm thinking of the giant tree, bro, from the trailer now. Like everything is connected to like one giant earth tree. For example, the lowest level of consciousness is like an endless ocean, or that. Our unique consciousness would be islands situated in the ocean and can be split into two parts. One is hidden. Wait, hold up. It's a little bit loud for me. One is hidden under the water, which is the subconscious, which is higher in both quality and size. The other exposed on the surface of the ocean, the superficial consciousness that can usually be detected. This is the axiom of the school of thought in psychology. Audrey glanced at Susie, stroked the golden fur on its neck, and said, "So we can use this connected ocean to influence the consciousness of others to achieve the goal of curing certain mental illnesses. This is the mysticism foundation and beyond the powers of a psychiatrist. But it doesn't seem enough and is lacking something. For example, the sky above one's head, the sky which shrouds everything." Audrey curiously thought as she wore a look of confused enlightenment. "You're really talented in this area," Escalante praised in delight. "However, we can only affect a portion of the surrounding ocean. And through it, we can affect those who are close to us. If we venture deeper into the ocean, it will be easy for us to lose ourselves." She looked up at the ornate and complicated clock on the wall and smiled and said, "Time's up. This is the end of today's class. Miss Audrey, if you're interested in this psychological school of thought, then we can continue talking about it next time." All right, Audrey stood up and bowed. Watching Escalante leave, she nodded and thought, "Ma'am, Escalante doesn't seem like a real..." We are for the ones. Tell me about it. Me too. Tell me about it. That's funny. All right, we'll keep playing it right now. Let's finish this part, just so I can skip the ad. We'll continue this next time, right? All right, Audrey stood up and bowed. Watched Escalante leave. She nodded and thought, "Ma'am, Escalante doesn't seem like a real psychiatrist. At most, she's like me, a telepathist. Was what she just talked about the axioms of the psychology alchemists? They really are patient. Why aren't they trying to recruit me yet?" As Audrey was in thought, Susie commented happily from the side, "Audrey, I feel like she's the same type of person as us." "No, I mean the same type of dog." "I mean the same type of dog." "No, that's not right." Woof. She's so aware, bro. She's like, "Wait, human, dog, no, woof." That is so funny, dude. Like, I'm just a dog, bro. Chill. Sissy, who only had a rudimentary grasp of the human language, fell into a state of confusion, unable to find the right words to describe her feelings. Like, she means beyonder. South of, I know what she meant. She meant like a beyonder, as a beyonder. South of the bridge, Rose Street, outside the Harvest Church, Klein in his normal disguise looked up at the scarlet emblem of the life of the facade, held his cane, climbed the steps, and stepped through the main door. The first thing he had to do was to confirm the situation. Only by doing this could he perform better so as to ingeniously rescue the vampire, Emblem White, without guarding suspicion. Then, as a detective who had provided clues, he could receive the gratitude from the White family and gain the applause from the audience. It was bound to be an interesting performance. Oh, indeed it will. The Harvest Church wasn't big, and it only had a prayer hall. Klein found a spot by the aisle and looked ahead as he took off his hat. Bishop Butrowski was preaching. His height was more than 2.2 meters, over 6 feet, right? And his burly physique, which couldn't be concealed by his loose priest robes, gave off an extreme sense of oppression. However, his expression was one of extreme gentleness, filled with appreciation and gratitude towards life. In front of such a priest, no one dared to cause a ruckus. The few believers quietly listened, occasionally making prayer gestures unique to the Church of Mother Earth. Klein watched carefully, waiting patiently, neither conceited nor rash. As the ceremony ended, he gripped his cane and prepared to get up to proceed with the subsequent plans. At that moment, a man wearing a peace robe of the Church of Mother Earth entered from the door that led to the room at the back of the cathedral. He looked 28 or 29 years old, had black hair and red eyes, possessed a high nose and thin lips. He was handsome but didn't give off masculine vibes. He was none other than... Oh, Emlyn White is out. Did he turn into a priest? Klein's mouth gaped a little and nearly failed to close it. Isn't this guy supposed to be locked up in a basement? Wasn't he shouting about how determined he was that he could absolutely not submit to... He's like, I will not submit. That he would absolutely not submit to Bishop Butrowski's will. Emily White distributed the communion to one believer after another, and he finally stopped in front of Klein. Klein's mind whirled, and he immediately in a low voice said, "Are you Emily White? Your parents entrusted my friend to look for you. Why are you here? Did you encounter something? Are you in need of assistance?" Emily White didn't seem to have his unique pride and said with a smile that only looked slightly better than crying, "There's no need. I will be returning home soon." He pursed his lips, shook his head, and forced a smile, saying, I am already a believer, Mother Earth. No, a priest. This answer was completely out of... I've never seen a vampire priest. That is a first. This answer was completely out of Klein's expectations. For a moment, he didn't know how to respond, and he could only shout repeatedly in his mind, hey, you were very adamant about your worship of the moon the last time we interacted at the Harvest Church. You said that you would absolutely not convert to a believer in Mother Earth. How long has it been, and have you already given in? Isn't that way too fast? What about your persistence? Where's your moral integrity? My carefully prepared performance has been forced to an end before it even began. This is just like taking me by surprise. Klein opened his mouth and suddenly realized something amiss. Why is Emlyn White informing me of his conversion? It's a farce. He's pretending, right? I'm just a detective who accidentally chanced upon him while passing by. Does he wish for me to pass this message to his parents? Is there another meaning behind this? While Klein was guessing, Emlyn White put away his worried and smiled smugly. You don't have to act, Mr. Detective, or should I call you the new owner of the Master Key? Heh. To a noble sanguine, everyone has a different smell and has different blood characteristics. I said the last part wrong. I'm sorry. Even when I was locked up in the basement, I could smell it. I remember your smell. Okay. That sounds cool. Let's pause, update, and let's keep going. We are at 369. Nice. Hell yeah. Hey, question. I think after I end stream, all the short clips you guys send me, I'll make them into shorts. But I'm probably gonna go back in my old videos and make like 5 to 10 minute videos or like highlights. So if I do bombard you guys with random highlights, I apologize in advance. But I think I might do that. Because I know people kind of did express it, like, hey man, I can't like always watch like a 3-hour, 2-hour video. So I'm like, oh, okay, make shorter clips, maybe 5 to 30 minutes. I don't know. I guess it depends, right? On just like the fights or like reveals or all the crackpot cooking theories. But I'm gonna have to like go back through all my videos on like 2-3x speed and kind of find them. So I'll probably do that after this stream. Let's keep going. Updated, timestamp good. All right, we're good. Damn, there's like 30 of you guys here. Thank you. Bruh, you plan to sneakily read the spoiler comments in old vids? No. He indirectly said it. Bruh, good thing I don't need to remind you. You know it. Father Uchoski the Chad. So he just converted him? Or is it? I think it's a ploy. Is Emlyn the bottom? Oh, what the fuck? Look, my chat literally just loaded, bro. What the fuck? Or was I tripping out? What the fuck? I think because I'm not wearing my glasses, I can't even read chat right today. What the fuck? Hold up. Let me move chat. I'm gonna move chat. I'm gonna mix it up. Chat is now going on the right side of the screen so I can see. I went on a spoiler deleting spree on your old vids, but still to avoid. No, that's right. I'm gonna just watch the videos on 2x speed. I won't go through the comments. Okay. Now I have chat on my right side because, bro, my fucking eyesight, holy shit, it's starting to fail me, man. I need glasses on stream. Like, unironically. Hold up. Give me a sec. Let me check this out. Hold up. Let me hide. Hold up. Let me hide this. Oh shit, these are my old glasses, man. I need a new prescription, bro. Me. The corruption is getting to. Liar. 7 feet. Oh, thank you, Haley. Okay. I know 2 meters is 6 feet. Bro's losing control very slowly. Low key, bro. I've been wearing glasses to see since middle school. Back then, I was on that boat like, oh, I want to wear glasses because it's cool, man. Back then, people were like, oh, you wear glasses? It's so cool. And then I'm like, fuck, I need glasses. I need reading glasses. Look. But I need a new prescription. Oh, wow. I need a new prescription. Yeah. What the fuck? These are a little... These ain't cutting it anymore. Hold on, give me 30 seconds. This is my first time wearing glasses on stream in like a cool minute. Let my eyes adjust for like another minute. What is bro even protesting about? Wait, what are we protesting? Slowly turning into Susie. I'm ready. I'm ready to see her rock up in her glasses. All right, I'm gonna put the chapter for like 30 seconds. Looking cool? Thank you. You're looking cool. Then put the chapter 30 seconds. See. So the chapter is right here. So if I'm like this. We don't do that. So we gotta look this way. So don't look at the camera if I have glasses on. I think we're good. Which potion would you feed Ellie? You know, unironically, I would feed her the spectator potion because I want to communicate with her. Actually, no, wait. Dogs can communicate on any potion. They don't just need spectator to communicate. I don't know, man. I'd give her like I give her anything that increases her intelligence. I want to have like a deep conversation with my puppy, bro. I want to have like a deep, fundamental, like life-changing conversation with my dog. So whatever pathway grants me that is what I pick. Whatever allows me to speak with her on the fundamental deep way. That is what I fucking pick. All right. Give her the devil potion. He's like, I'm a dog. Get to 382. Bet. Today, please. I have to plan my road trip with Miss Izagiki. So like this is what the plan is. Before we continue, in 3 hours, I gotta go plan things with Miss Izagiki. So we're probably gonna end stream in like 2.5 hours, and then if we finish on time, we can probably go live for like another hour or two. But we'll see. But more than 10, I don't think we'll be able to do more than 10. I'm shooting for anywhere between 5 and 10 today. Alright. I've been recognized. Client instantly fell into shock. I don't think I'm going to keep them on. I think I'm going to take off the glasses. Yeah, I'm probably going to take them off. I can read chat. Yeah, it's okay. I have chat now in front of me. You have to finish 377? Maybe. Alright, I think... Time lock in. Let's lock in! Let's lock in! And let's keep going. Chapter 369 is called Inception. That is such a good movie, by the way. That is such a good Nolan movie. If you disagree with me, I still love you. But that's a good movie. Sorry, I had to get that out. I've been recognized. Client instantly fell into shock and he nearly entered combat mode. Even if he didn't use his spirit vision, he can tell from Emlyn White's tone and words that he wasn't lying. He was very confident and certain. Just as the tense feeling rose in him, Klein suddenly thought of something. Why should I worry about that? Then he answered his own question in his mind. So what if I was recognized? The current situation is different from what it was 2 months ago. I was left flustered by the incident of Ambassador Bakerland in front of the official Beyonder. I was rushing around trying to grasp at every possible straw. In the process, I ended up making contact with Beyonder circles, and even the possibility of me becoming a Beyonder was quite plausible. Therefore, even if my identity as a Beyonder was exposed, they wouldn't think too deeply about it and dig up my past. And it's very likely that Detective Isengard Stanton is a Beyonder, and he maintains good relationships with the police and the official Beyonder organizations. He had speculated that I was the same as him and tried to gently rope me in. In this regard, I can barely be counted as a borderline member of the official Beyonders, and if anything were to happen, I won't necessarily be imprisoned. More importantly, I have already made my current image so deeply ingrained that I don't have to worry about any wanted posters. If anything goes wrong, then I can just abandon 15-wing streak and my identity as a Sherlock. No, don't abandon your identity as a Sherlock. Well, no, I do want him to be Klein again, so we'll see. I do want him to be Klein Moretti again. Identity as Sherlock Moriarty, so what's there to worry about? Yes, before I came here, I had also performed a divination, and the revelation was that there was almost no danger. As these thoughts flashed across his mind, Klein contracted pupil, slightly applaud expression, and his finger of flight state east, as if he was discussing the day's weather with Emlyn White. Seeing his calm expression, Emlyn White raised his eyebrows, took a few steps to the side, and squeezed past him before slowly sitting to his side. The vampire looked at Bishop Gruchowski, who was leading the believers in the rite of the Holy Communion, and he said with a sneer, "Mr. Detective, aren't you afraid that I'll go to the police station and shout out loud that you're a Beyonder?" Similarly, Klein looked forward and said without turning his head, "I'll go with you and shout out that there's a vampire. Come on, let's have an hey, what? He's like, I'll do the same too. Come on, let's have an internecine outcome. A what outcome? Do you think I'm afraid of you? Emlyn's white expression stiffened. He raised his right index finger and said, Sanguine, a noble sanguine. Got it? I'm saying it wrong. I've never seen Inception. You guys have homework today. Watch Inception. Please. It's a good movie. Before Klein could speak out, seeing that the Bishop Wachowski was preoccupied with the rites of the Holy Communion, Emlyn White chuckled and said, regardless, I'm finally going to be free. I pretended to submit and told the old man that I was willing to convert to believing in Mother Earth and was deeply penitent for what I had done. Although I had no idea what was necessarily to show repentance, it's not a problem to put on an act. The old man actually believed me like this, and he was very happy as well. He let me out on the spot, and he let me become a priest here. He told me that as long as I memorize the Holy Bible of the Church of Mother Earth, he will allow me to return home. That old Foggy, who's all brawn and has become silly from his faith, sure is easy to fool. Easy to fool. Klein turned his head to look at the vampire, looking smug, he looked forward and said, Father Wachowski used to be a pirate. He probably killed far more people than the number of people your father has ever saved. Furthermore, most pirates don't trust their fellow crew members. Betrayal and trickery are common among them. To be a relatively successful pirate, able to live in the end, Father Wachowski wouldn't be a person who's easily fooled, even if he's not a bright person. Emlyn White wore a look of disbelief as he wished to retort. Klein rubbed the top of his cane and leisurely added, Father has a powerful sealed artifact in his possession. It is known as the Mental Terror Candle. It can allow the wielder to enter the deepest recesses of the target soul. There, no one can lie. Moreover, there's only one of its uses. I don't know if it has any other abilities. Emlyn White gradually froze, his eyes losing focus. After a dozen seconds, he whispered with pale expression, when I said I was willing to change my faith, the old man came in with a lantern. He actually converted him. He can't even go against it anymore. There was a candle on the lantern, and I didn't get a look at it. Klein is like, you messed up, bro. Klein tilted his head and gave Emlyn White a sympathetic glance. Perhaps Father Wachowski used it to plant a seed in you. Oh, so he actually did willingly convert. He just doesn't know it yet. One that gradually and thoroughly makes you wholeheartedly believe in Mother Earth. The corner of Emlyn's mouth twitched, revealing a smile comparable to a zombie. I don't feel anything at all. It shouldn't be anything like you said. Besides, are my parents coming? They can blame the priest through ordinary people, saying that he's forcefully detained me, forcing him to make a choice between selling the Church of Mother Earth reputation and letting me go. Isn't that a great idea? Klein maintained his look of pity, clasped his hands, and raised them to his nose. Acting truly penitent? If I were Father Wachowski, I would choose to call the police and have them determine the truth. Tell me, who do you think will suffer in the end? The bishop who had the right to preach, or a vampire? Sanguine. Emlyn White, facial muscles seemed to twitch. He clenched his fist and punched the back of the pew in front of him. I can wait. Once I memorize the Holy Bible, I will ask the old man to let me return. He is truly a devout person and will not break his promise. Klein didn't turn his head and said with a smile, I've been to 48 River Bay Avenue. Your parents have already moved away. Naturally, not only will they move away, they will also move somewhere I'm not aware of. Emlyn White responded without hesitation. Klein added with a relatively relaxed tone, they moved in a hurry. They left a lot of things behind, such as the things in your room. Emlyn White's expression suddenly became extremely wonderful. He gaped his mouth abruptly, stood up, squeezed past Klein, and rushed towards Bishop Wachowski, who stood in front of the sacred emblem of life. Father Wachowski, I want to return home. I want to return home. I want to return home. Emlyn shouted. Seeing that there were still believers who hadn't finished their Holy Communion yet, Father Wachowski didn't respond. He merely gave the pitiful vampire a calm look. Emlyn quickly shut his mouth and became quiet. Very submissive. He paced back and forth, looked extremely anxious. Smiling, Klein stood up, took his cane and hat, and strolled to the aisle in front of the pew of the cathedral's hall. When Holy Communion was over, he walked up to Father Wachowski and said with a serious expression, Bishop, I don't know why you're retaining Emlyn here, nor do I want to know. I only know one thing. His parents have entrusted me to take him back. If this giant-like priest agrees to my request so easily, I can only light a vigil candle from this vampire. Emlyn, no, I'm sure he would hate candles from this day forth. It's best to mourn for him, Klein secretly thought. Father Wachowski looked down and then at them and replied gently, Emlyn can return home at any time. Klein gave Emlyn White a glance, raised his right hand, and tapped his chest. He wanted to gesture the sign of the crimson moon by tapping in a clockwise fashion, but in the end, he forced himself to draw the triangular sacred emblem. Emlyn became rather anxious from the look Klein gave him. Without a word, he rushed to the door of the cathedral and left without a hitch. Klein followed him at a moderate pace without any signs of anxiety. After proceeding forward, in what appeared like a jog, Emlyn suddenly slowed down and said in a daze, I feel like I'm starting to miss the Harvest Church, the feeling of memorizing the Holy Bible and the sacred emblem of life. I wish to return to clean and tidy the place. It'll only take an hour. This planted seed is even more vicious than I had imagined. No matter where this vampire goes, he returned to the Harvest Church every day and worked for an hour. That's actually quite alright. At the very least, the seed which was planted didn't change Emlyn's faith. In a way, he showed him some respect, but why did I use the word respect? The candle's called the Mental Terror Candle, and it's said to be from a dragon. The spectator pathway is rather scary. Oh, I feel like this is slight foreshadowing for Audrey. Maybe, like, in the future, she'll be able to, like, instill one's thoughts, right? And, like, forcibly spectate from the shadows by making people do what she wants them to do. I can see that, right? Because it's part of the spectator pathway. Okay, I see where we're going. Clang tapped his cane and said, do you need me to remind you of anything? There's no need. Emlyn's expression distorted as he angrily said, I will fight this feeling. Cook? Bro, you know what it is? It's like the voice from Dune. If you guys have watched Dune, you know what's the voice. It's like she's gonna gain the voice. Audrey, you mean Sissy? Both of them, actually. Both of them are gonna obtain, like, the equivalent of the voice from Dune, but, like, in the Lord of Mysteries universe. Like, where they tell somebody to do something, and they do it, and then they can spectate and, like, digest. The voice, yes, literally the voice from Dune. I can see something like that happening on the spectator pathway. That'd be crazy, dude, right? That'd be pretty cool. That'd be actually pretty sick if spectators can do that. He gritted his teeth and suddenly exhaled, let's take the carriage back to River Bay Avenue. All right, Klein responded nonchalantly. After a few steps, Emlyn stopped a rental carriage. Just as he was about to board the carriage, his back stiffened for 2 seconds. Then he said so quietly that Klein could barely hear him, I don't have any money on me. I do, Klein smiled. Emlyn stopped talking and got out of the carriage. Klein sat across him and the carriage began to move on. He asked as if in thought, your father's a doctor, one that possesses outstanding skills in drugs and medicines. Although he was listless, Emlyn raised his chin out of habit. This is the gift that we, Sanguin, enjoy. The most outstanding potion masters are all from Sanguin. Back to the kitchen we are. Back to the kitchen. Bro, we've never left. Head chef. Is that so? Klein whispered to himself, his thoughts of mystery. Emlyn said after a moment of silence, write to your friend and tell him that I have returned to River Bay Avenue. My parents will come looking for me. All right, Klein answered simply. After nearly 20 minutes, the carriage pulled into River Bay Avenue and stopped in front of Unit 48. After paying the fare, Klein got out of the carriage and saw Emlyn White look towards the bedroom. His expression becoming abnormally excited. Restraining himself, the vampire pressed his hands to his chest and bowed deeply at Klein. In any case, I must thank you. Klein immediately revealed a smile. There's no need to thank me. The bounty reward of finding you and your transportation fees will be obtaining from your parents. Also, you have to concoct a medicine with beyond effects to help me treat a patient. This is the reward that your family should pay. Wait, who? Who will we treat? What? Okay, that's a little confusing. So that would be payment? All right, hold up. I'm gonna go get some G Fuel. I need some gamer fuel in me so I cannot be sleepy. So I can stay awake. Hold up. Let me go make some gamer fuel so I can stay awake. I'll be right back. So while that happens, let me play Connie. Oh no, I did play that. We're gonna play Emil/Sacrifice. I'll be right back. Oh, I lied. I haven't even paused the video. I fucked up my recording. I know I fucked up my recording. Shit. Fuck. It's been so long since I fucked up a recording. Shit. It's alright. I can just... that's so dumb. How the fuck... What did I do? How did I do that? Bruh, but dude, I don't know. The recording is still resuming somehow. I don't know how I messed up the recording. It's playing even though I didn't hit play. What is going on? I'm at 26 minutes. No, maybe it's correct. 26 minutes? That's like 12, 11 minutes. Easy, come on. No, I think we're good. It's gonna be kind of fucked when we upload it and then there's like a little jump. I know I paused it when we spoke with Anime Wiz and then I resumed it. But we spoke with him at the end of the first chapter, not on the second chapter. So it couldn't... We'll find out. We'll find out. We'll find out when we upload the recording. There's a Wraith in your room? Low-key, I think it was a fucking Wraith. It fucked up my OBS. Alright, let me add this, and I'll be right back. Oh, and I'm playing music I haven't tested when it was recording. Scuffed VOD. It's a good stream. It's a beautiful, amazing stream, but the VOD is a little scuffed. I ain't gonna lie. Alright, let me go make G Fuel. I'll be back in 2 seconds. Why don't you just cut the VODs up to make the video? Well, the thing is, I paused the recording in between updating timestamps. Also, I missed him talking to Wiz. Yeah, it was in the beginning. Like, within like the first 5-10 minutes. Yeah, I usually record the chapters and then I always pause. Like, I usually pause when I'm not reading. So like when I'm updating and all that, I pause. But here, I'll be right back. Let me go make some G Fuel. Because I'm a little schlumped. Hold up, I'll be right back. I'm back. Oh my god. Also, I think the reason I'm also a little bit tired. Ah, my god. It's because your boy is back in the gym, bro. I've gone 3 consistent days in a row. So I'm kind of proud of that. And my legs and arms hurt like a motherfucker. Woo! What chat have become? What happened to chat? What happened? What I miss? You muted yourself? No, we're unmuted. We're unmuted. Yes, so video only watchers don't know how much time he wastes. Never have ever wasted time. I don't know what you're talking about. Every minute is precious. Damn, I miss everything but the protest is worth. Yes. What protest? Protest? Bro doesn't even know what he's protesting about. I do. Do tell. Look up. What does he protest accomplish? There's nothing there, bro. Did bro just bait me? Maybe. Alright. Are you guys ready? I don't think I've ever showed you guys my G Fuel cup. I bought this at Anime Expo like 2 years ago. Every minute is precious. Is really wasting time if he enjoys talking to us? You know what, Guido? I love the way you talk, man. Thank you. Yeah. Is it really? Is it really? Yeah, there you go. Is it really wasting time if I enjoy every minute with you guys? I love that mentality. And then Jin, every minute is precious. I'm kidding. I love you guys. Showing his, look at that. Look at that. This is precious. This is my one and only G Fuel cup that I bought at Anime Expo like 2 years ago. Look at that. We enjoyed talking to Easy. Oh, thank you. And you guys don't know because I privated my old streams out of embarrassment. But I used to have giant G Fuel signs all around me that I got at Anime Expo. They were throwing them away, and I'll be like, hey, man, I'll take those off your hand. I got like 5 giant G Fuel billboards, and I will put them up around me. They're somewhere outside. I have to go find them. They're like somewhere out of this room. I think I don't know where I put them. They're somewhere over here. Boris pretending he's sponsored. Low key, that was the mentality. I'd be like sponsored, not sponsored, and then eventually we get an actual sponsor, and it'd be pretty funny. You know what? I'm gonna go find them so I can put them in the background. I think it was a pretty funny idea. Bro was trying to fake sponsor. I literally was trying to fake sponsor to see if we could actually get a G Fuel sponsor. Because one, I'm sorry. Sorry, I am lampooning talking to you guys. But I fucking love drinking G Fuel. I unironically drink this shit at the gym. Even though it's like gamer fuel, it keeps me like focused. Literally fake it till you make it. Yes, user man, I love that mentality. Did you hide your culture tier list? What culture tier list? Damn, we can dream, man. On Billy. Yo, I saw a Billy fight from Dunqua. That shit was badass, dude. I didn't even know who the fuck it was or what were they fighting. But it's trending. And then there's like just racists on Twitter be like, I don't like Dunquas. I only like anime. I'm like, dude, shut up. Like, it's peak. Like, shut the fuck up. It's a cool ass anime scene, bro. Or it's a cool ass Dunqua scene. To be Hero X looks crazy though. The Elden Ring one? What Elden Ring one? Alright, I'm good. I'm ready. Let's continue. Let's start chugging some G Fuel. We want the old VODs. I will subscribe then, but I want to see it. But ugh. I had like old gameplay VODs. I used to play Death Stranding. I played a little bit on stream. I played like Monster Hunter World. I heard Easy had a foot fetish. No, that one's public. You know what, guys? Hold up. I think it'd be fun. In between Lord of Mysteries stream, let's make some raunchy ass tier lists. Cause I low-key had a lot of fun doing a feet tier list on Elden Ring. Yeah, so you know what, bro? I want to do like more, like I want to do like an armpit tier list, a feet tier list, a thigh tier list, an ear tier list. I want to do them all, bro. And how's your Chinese community? I have no idea, bro. What? I think it'd be funny. LOTM feet tier list. Bro, guys, I think we're cooking here. What? I think we're cooking. A demonist tier? Bro, hold up. Hey, yo, this is what I have been waiting for. It remembers like, finally my time. All right, we have a hairline tier list. Dunsmith one. I'm not even gonna, like, you silly man, how unhinged can you get? This is how unhinged we're gonna get. All you guys gotta find homework. If there's any feet on characters we've met in Lord of Mysteries, send them my way. We will make a feet tier list. These two might be peak. Those two might be peak. Armpit and the thigh tier list. If there's any fan art of any of those, not in a sexual way, by the way, right? Like we got to keep it professional, you know. This is in a very professional way. Now Benson overdone. Low-key, I think Benson did have a better hairline for him. Dunn was fighting for his life, dude. Dunn was fighting for his life. He was like me, man. Before I was like, you know, fuck it, bro. Just shave it off. Okay, I'll not judge. Evernight got his feet. Oh, wait, hold up. Only for characters we've met. I technically... Oh, you know what? If there's fan art on statue foot, we can use that. Telling people to send feet pics your way is crazy. No, not my way. Towards our Discord way. It's gonna be funny when we resume the recording and people are like, what the fuck are they talking about? Bro, talking about professional in the story with Demoness? It ain't that bad, bro. You know what? It ain't that bad. Alright, let's continue. Let's continue. Alright, let's go back to the playlist we can play after the potential stuff played. And then let's go back up here. Alright, let's continue. What the fuck did I miss? We're talking about feet. Why are y'all talking about feet? We're trying to make a Lord of Mysteries feet tier list. So if you guys have any feet pictures on characters we've met, send them my way. Or you know what, man? If they even got hands, bro. Thick dive save lives. I like that. I like that. We're talking about, okay, but Benson's calloused feet carrying his family on his back like the goat he is. You know what? Just for that, he'd get extra points. That'd be so funny. Alright, I'll shut the fuck up, man. Let's fucking keep reading. You guys are like, yo, man, like, alright, bro, enough feet. Let's fucking get on with the read-through. Yeah, send them in the art Discord. Yeah, don't put them in the general for people not watching. They'll be like, what the fuck is going on, dude? Alright. So fucking unhinged. I learned from the best. Where's unhinged? I learned from the best. More unhinged than me. We learned from the best. My man, I think we're a sequence ahead of him. All right, let's continue. Chapter 370 is called The Audience Applause. And for people not watching the live stream, and the people that are watching the live stream, the audience will applause to that video. So keep it hush-hush until it comes out. The Audience Applause. Bounty reward, transportation fees, and medicine with beyond her effects. Emlyn White was left momentarily dazed when he first heard that. This was not the answer that he had expected. What about your gentlemanliness? I've never said that in my life. So it's like you're a gentleman, but you're gentlemanliness. The vampire thought in shock. As a detective, abiding by clear accounting principles is necessary. Besides, you've even delayed my visit to Quilling Club. I don't know what food they've offered in limited supply for the past 2 days. Klein looked at Emlyn White as he joked and lampooned silently. After a few seconds, Emlyn forced a smile and said, I have to see the patient before I can concoct the appropriate medicine. From your tone, you sound really confident. Klein nodded thoughtfully. He then thought of a problem. The White family seemed to be a family of outstanding potion scholars. If I were to really be injured and poisoned, then I can come to them for treatment. Wouldn't all of my efforts of going out of the way get to the apocryphy formula from Father Trotsky be for naught? I no longer need to nurture another aid that's good at healing. Reality sure does change faster than planned. However, it's not really a waste either. I've already made back my investment for Miss Magician. For things like formulas, as long as it exists, it will be valuable. Besides, the White family will definitely stay away from... Oh, that's the last name. Yeah. Emlyn White. Besides, the White family will definitely stay away from the River Bay Avenue and live their lives with new secret identities. I might not be able to find them, so it's not that convenient. No, before the mental terror candles inducing thoughts are resolved, all I need to do is wait for Emlyn White at the Harvest Church. With that in mind, Klein took off his hat, bowed, and said, No problem, I will take you there when the time comes. I shall not waste your time any further. Cheerio. Emlyn's white expression changed as he hesitantly said, If you can remove the effects of the mental terror candle, then you will receive a greater bounty. And he paused and raised a chin and the friendship of the sanguine. I'm a magician and I possess the sun's brooch and biological poison bottle. I'm only limited to mediumship when it comes to the aspects of one's psyche. So what can I do? Amongst the people, I know only Miss Justice is a close match. But she's only a sequence 8 telepathist. Unless you change your faith to the fool that doesn't belong to the... Are we recruiting him? No. Oh, a believer. He did talk about making believers, right? Like people that wouldn't be part of the tarot meeting, but a believer. Okay, that's Kype. So literally, so he's actually making a cult. He has his followers. He has believers. I'm liking where this is going. Unless you change your faith to the fool that doesn't belong to this era, then we will be able to find out how to use the knowledge recorded in the Book of Secrets to help you solve this problem through a corresponding ritual. Speaking of which, vampires seem to be worshippers of the primitive moon, very similar to the Shaman King and the like. Could the ancient god recorded in the City of Silver, the vampire ancestor Lilith, be the primitive moon? Okay. The vampire ancestor Lilith be the primitive moon. So there's a correlation right here. Klein set up a smile as his thoughts wandered. I'll keep a lookout for ways to help you. Emlyn White nodded and didn't say anything else. He impatiently turned around and rushed to the door. If it wasn't for the fact that the carriage driver was still nearby, he would have spread his black bat wings and soared direct. He has wings? Kype. I see what you did there. No, I remember Lilith was one of the 8 beings that were brought up. I remember that. Yeah, so Lilith is alleged to be like the primordial moon, like before, right? Like the old one. Well, it literally said it right here. Hold up, I forgot how to say it. I lost my place, but you know what I mean. You know that I know what you know. Come on, guys, come on. Klein laughed and shook his head emotionally. He's also a sword, by the way. Imagine. He just turns into a sword. He has wings, and then the wings turn into swords. Wait. He also has a sword, by the way. Oh, I don't know. Wait. That's not a spoiler, right, Jen? No, I think we're good. He rode back in the same rental carriage and arrived at the steam metro not far away. He then made a transfer and returned to the Sherwood Borough 15 Mink Street. Before entering the room, Klein, who had become accustomed to opening the letterbox, checked for letters. To her surprise, there really was a letter. There was no stamp on the letter. It was addressed to Detective Sherlock Moriarty and was signed off with Jurgen Cooper. Lawyer Jurgen. Okay, puzzled, Klein picked up the envelope and tore it open. Under the light of the street lamp, he saw a piece of paper and 2 bills. The denomination of these 2 notes were 1 solely and 5 solely, a total of 6 solely. I feel that I fed the cat 3 times during the period. The agreement was 2 solely per instance. Realizing this reason, Klein opened the door and lit the gas lamp. As he unfolded the letter, he discovered that it didn't contain much, and the words of the Jurgen had handwritten were as precise and serious as it was. Dear Detective Moriarty, thank you for taking care of Brody over the past few days. This is the reward you deserve. I rang the doorbell twice and found that you weren't at home, so I can only put the payment in an envelope and put it in your letterbox. As I might not be able to come back until tomorrow evening, I might miss the verbal agreement which my grandmother promised tonight. As a lawyer, I value the validity of verbal agreements and hope that they will be carried out strictly. Finally, thank you once again, Jurgen Cooper. Mr. Lawyer, your gratitude is so dry and boring that it's even inferior to Brody's. But the explanation for your behavior is very detailed. It really fits the Jurgen style. Also, why place it in my mailbox? If this were Earth and the time before I transmigrated, I might need even look in the mailbox downstairs for months. Really? Okay. Klein smiled as he folded the bills and placed them in his pocket. Then he took out a sheet of paper and wrote to Detective Stewart. After writing the beginning pleasantries, he wrote after some deliberation. I found Emmeline White at the Harvest Church near Tutva Street. It's a very small cathedral belonging to the Church of Mother Earth. It isn't very common in Lowen. Emmeline White claimed that it was because of certain matters that he chose to run away from home. Afterwards, he was taken in by the bishop with the hope of harvest and stayed there, becoming a... Klein thought for a moment before writing down the word volunteer. Then he added simply, thanks to my persuasion, he had returned to 48 River Bay Avenue. However, he might visit the Harvest Church often for volunteer work. When he was done, Klein read through it. Then he put down the pen and neatly folded the letter. He rummaged around for an envelope, but he didn't affix the corresponding stamps. He planned to hire someone to deliver it directly to Stewart House the next day. If he were to go through the Kingdom postal systems, even if he were to put the letter in the mailbox now, he wouldn't be able to get it taken away by the postman until tomorrow, and then there would be the process of sorting and delivering it. So although he was also in the royal capital of Backland, Stewart would have to wait at least until the day after before seeing the letter. Only then would the Whites be notified, and during this period of time, Emmeline White was a penniless guy who only had figurines. This is also for the sake of receiving payment early. Klein chuckled tidied up the coffee table and returned to the second floor to brush his teeth and ask, okay, POV change. On Wednesday morning, after spending 2 solely and entrusting a rental carriage driver to deliver the letter, Klein bought some of the main ingredients for Desi's seafood rice. Intending to cook fried rice today, he couldn't help but swallow a mouthful of saliva when he thought of the purely white rice. After spending some time, he finally cooked a pot of fragrant fried rice with bacon and black tea after going through all sorts of hassles in the kitchen. It was so delicious that tears almost filled his eyes. This is truly a moving and nostalgic taste. Is he thinking of his siblings? After eating 2 large plates of fried rice, Klein sat down on the chair and rubbed his belly. As Emmeline White's situation had too many twists and turns, his performance had already ended before it had ever really begun, and he couldn't achieve his desired goal. Thus, he can only look for another opportunity to take the initiative for a performance. However, Klein still benefited from this. Failure was also an experience, and it made him understand at least one thing. Unlike ordinary magicians, my performance not only has aides, but it also has enemies and participants. Their reactions and choices can similarly affect its development. I have to consider all these elements ahead of time. This is also a lesson. It's better to be taught a lesson over such a trivial matter than to be schooled when facing important matters. Klein looked at the empty plate in front of him and contemplated about what other performances he could initiate. After a moment of serious consideration, he realized that there weren't any. Of course, it wasn't absolute. They were just unsuitable for him to do them now. For example, Klein had always wanted to take care of that evil spirit in the 4th epoch ruins of the Tudor dynasty. Even if it was Sharon who had the scarlet lunar corona and Merrick who had opened the rampager beyond her characteristics of a wraith, Klein didn't think that they were able to fight against the high sequence monsters. It was even possible to end up dead before even knowing why. Taking the initiative to perform isn't equivalent to courting death. It's not about using one's life to perform. Klein warned himself there was something else he wanted to do, but he didn't think there was much of a choice. It was to find the strange child, Will what? Will Acupitin, who had brought bad luck to the surgeon Aaron. Oh, the one that got the operation. Yeah, okay, I remember him. Klein had always been interested in the tarot card which the child possessed. Oh! Wait. No, it wouldn't be a card of blasphemy. Because Roselle put them in... Oh, maybe it would be a tarot card, right? That'd be a little on the nose. Maybe Klein had always been interested in the tarot card which the child possessed, and he wanted to confirm if it was a mystical item. It's definitely a mystical item, but how mystical, that I don't know. Unfortunately, this case had already been taken over by the Nighthawks, and Klein didn't want to get involved in the former colleagues. Leonard is definitely going to be on the case. You know it. I know it. He's going to be on the case. I'll wait for Dr. Aaron's break time before heading to the Quilling Club and asking about the progress, and then I'll decide what to do. Klein thought quickly took shape. According to what he knew, Dr. Aaron was usually free on Fridays. On Friday afternoons and Sunday, in which he would play tennis at the Quilling Club. Klein had also confirmed one thing through today's Backland Morning Post. There would be a Beyonder gathering tomorrow night organized by Eye of Wisdom. I can't sell the werewolf Beyonder characteristics or the biological poison bottle for the time being. I can't even find someone to turn the former into a mystical item. The high sequence Beyonders of the Rose School of Thought are definitely still active nearby, filled with rage. I bet they can't wait to find Sharon, Merrick, and their helpers before tearing them apart. He had to keep a low profile in the area for the time being. Klein picked up his napkin, wiped his mouth, and began to clear the table. He had wanted to rest for the day and go to the Quilling Club for a leisurely day without taking the initiative to perform. But then he recalled the Amon avatar, which attempted to penetrate the gray fog, and he recalled the role that the Book of Secrets had also played in the herring moment. So Klein lit the fireplace in the living room and brought the Book of Secrets back to the real world. He then concentrated on reading, studying, and taking notes. Of course, he would later burn the corresponding notes above the gray fog. It was already noon before he realized it when he suddenly heard the doorbell ring. After hiding the Book of Secrets, Klein entered the living room and went straight to the door. The visitor was thin, bearded Detective Stewart. Oh. He looked at Klein with great reverence and excitement, and he couldn't wait to praise him. You really are a great detective with abundant resources and channels. You were actually able to solve this kind of case without any clues. Why do I feel a slight change in my spirituality? Because he applauded him. He's like, oh, so he can digest his magician potion as a really good detective. Did I not say that a stream or two ago, or did I not say that a stream or two ago? Why do I feel a slight change in my spirituality? It seems like the potion has been digested a little more. In other words, my performance still enjoyed some limited success. However, there's only one person in the audience. Ooh, just imagine a whole group of detectives. Oh, so he'd be like Sherlock solving cases in the public audience. Ah, okay. However, there was only one person in the audience, and only he was fooled into seeing the wonderful outcome. An audience applause really is effective. Klein was startled before he revealed a warm smile. Oh, look at that. Wait, why would we do that? We love him. We love him, Bullseye. All right, let's pause, update, and let's keep going. I see you, misters. I see you. Let's pause and let's keep going. All right, bear with me. Oh, man. Ooh, that was a big sneeze. His name is literally Sherlock Moriarty. So you know he's gonna be doing cases in like broad daylight, but you should join a circus for real, bro. That's what I'm saying. Just join a circus. Wait, what was that username? I missed your message. Will Ossipton. Bro, Dodgers are so ass. Bro, no, don't say that. Red, I haven't been able to watch a game, man. I missed the fucking games, and then I'm like, shit. And then I can't watch the streams, and I can't watch the reruns. Sounds like a guy with two last names. It does, man. That's a hard name to say. Laugh mass out. That's how I read it. Will acupuncture? Did I say acupuncture? He said the thing. It doesn't sound like a spoiler. It just sounds like I'm down bad. Let's pause it. Let's keep going, dude. Hey, I have a question. Does the mic, does that spike? Does that sound weird when it goes? Because I heard from other streamers before they got really good mics, they just put a sock over their mic. So I don't know if that would help. Like, I don't know if I should get a mic. I don't know if that's gonna help. No spike? So there's no spike. Oh, not really? There's a spike. I can hear my spike and it's kind of annoying. I haven't noticed it. Okay, so if it doesn't sound bad. I guess that's just something I hear on my end. That's so weird. Okay. Alright, I haven't noticed it. Alright, that's good. Damn, man. Thank you, NVIDIA. NVIDIA has some good AI filtering then when it comes to, like, audio. Alright, we're good. We're updated. I lied. We are not fucking updated on the timestamps because it's on my right side now rather than my... No, it's on my left side rather than my right side. So now I gotta get used to that. Oh, I should probably put OBS on my left side now. I should probably do that. Oh, thank you for subscribing. Who was that? Hold up. Thank you. Oh, hell yeah. That's so cool. Thank you. Oh, okay, let's do this. You know what I want to do? I can tell that there's a spike, but I didn't notice it until you mentioned it. Ooh, you're right. There is no spike. You know what would be cool? I need to learn how to put an audio over, like, subscribers or, like, custom audio. I want to put, like, a anime girl going, "Anya," you know, when somebody, like, follows. Or, like, if somebody, like, becomes a member, I'll go, I don't know. Like, something raunchy. That make it sound funny and a little bit engaging. Please don't. And then people follow such a critical point in, like, volume 2, and all you hear is, "Anya." Yes, the anime mode. So just imagine we're reading some crazy endgame shit in volume 2, and then you just hear an anime mode like that. You see how you heard that? That'd be so fucking funny. But I was like, maybe I shouldn't do it. If client says welcome to the Terror Club and the Dunkwa, you gotta use that. But put a mounting sound instead. Alright. Yes. Put a mounting sound. I think that'd be funny. I need to look at it. Imagine during Old Neil Death hearing ooh. Oh shit, that'd be so fun. Yes, like that's what I was thinking about. Like during a crazy ass death scene, that's all you hear, like ooh. No, maybe not. That sounds like a bad idea, but it also sounds like a really fucking funny idea, man. But nah, I don't know. We'd have to do like a test run. If it'd be funny, or like if it just be distracting, maybe another day. Reduces the trauma, honestly. Yeah, it would lessen the burden. Yeah, it would low-key help me digest the series a little bit more. All right, let's keep going. Time step is good. We're ready. Dude, we're almost at 1,700 subs. Holy shit, dude. That is crazy. Sometimes I see comments from people like, oh my god, I just found this channel. And I'm like, dude, that's so cool. Even like 5 months later, I'll see new comments on old videos. I lied. I don't look at comments on old videos, Romero. But I'll be like, oh my god, I just found this channel. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. All right, let's keep going. Zero stalling. Chapter 371. And I lied. You guys are looking at me that I did not update this. Detective Moriarty's first fan. Oh, look at that. No, it's just good luck. God was watching over me. Klein modestly stepped aside and invited Stewart in. When what he said was the truth, and this matter did involve good luck. Long before Stewart had accepted this mission, he already knew of Emlyn White's whereabouts. Stewart shivered and he took off his coat and hat and hung them on a rack in the hall. The darn weather is getting colder. Perhaps I should try using those coats with the cotton stuffed inside them. He said, you can't call this cold, right? If you go to the north of the Mid-Sea Shire and live in the winter country for a day, you'll understand what truly low temperatures and true winters are like. Klein chuckled. Then he generously asked, a cup of hot tea. I would love one. Stewart followed him to the activity room on the first floor. I've been to North Mid-Sea Shire, and I know about the cold and the snow there. It was a nice vacation, but Backland's cold isn't inferior either. I went through my clothes like magic and seeped into my bones. Oh, what a wonderful fireplace. Stewart stood in front of the burning fireplace for 20 seconds before he sat down on the sofa. He looked at Klein, who was busy brewing instant coffee, and he said, I'm going south for the holiday to go fishing at Desi Bay for New Year's. What about you? Do you have any vacation plans? We put up with Backland's air for a year and work hard to save money, all for such a holiday. Tell me about it. Perhaps I should head to Desi Bay as well, Klein said hesitantly. He turned his head to the side of Stuart's face, and for a moment he seemed to be in a trance. This involved an agreement, appointment with his older brother Benson and sister Melissa. I'll show you my fishing skills when the time comes. Stuart continued without end. We still aren't rich enough, otherwise I'd like to travel to Fasik, Intis, and even the southern continent. After he finished making the coffee, Klein handed the man a white porcelain cup. He took 2 steps back and sat down across from him. Holding the cup, I scroll down too much. Holding the cup in his hand, Stuart took 2 deep breaths out of his fragrant and warm steam. After resting for a few seconds, he put the cup down and said very formally, according to our agreement, I'll share the reward I received this time with you. The whites gave a total of 50 pounds, and you obviously did more than I did. Sherlock, how about 30 pounds? I still have to pay my informant further work. Only 50 pounds. If vampires only were 50 pounds, Klein couldn't help but silently lampoon. But he also knew that it wasn't that the whites didn't want to increase the bounty. It was because they were worried about giving too much money and scaring the detectives into making unnecessary associations and attracting the attention of the police or some official beyond our organizations. So don't keep it too high or don't keep it too low. Okay. You made me look. I think an ominous sound would be best. An ominous sound would be better. Yeah, that might be better. Yeah. Dun, dun. Yeah, like the Undertaker bow. For people that have watched WWE, I know I'm a grown adult. I still keep up with WWE. It's John Cena's last year. Cut me some slack, bro. But I think the Undertaker or like a very ominous bell would be pretty badass. I think that could work. Ominous. I think it could work. Ominous. Dun dun dun. Okay, let's just keep reading. You know what I mean. That would be nice. Yeah, I think it would be nice. To the average private detective, a 50-pound mission was already tempting enough, and Klein had only used 7 pounds back then to hire detectives to investigate all the red chimney houses in the whole of Tinkin City and the towns along its outskirts. In addition, the whites gave you an extra pound, claiming it's from your transportation expenses for the past few days. Looking somewhat puzzled, Stuart produced 6 5-pound notes and 1-pound note. Klein reached out to take them, casually checked their authenticity, and didn't explain the transportation fees. Stuart, Twitch is empty? Yeah, I just saw that on Hinge. My bad. It is empty, huh? I lost my place. In addition, the whites gave you an extra pound, claiming it's for your transportation expenses for the past few days. Looking somewhat puzzled, Stuart produced 6 5-pound notes and 1-pound note. Klein reached out to take them, casually checked their authenticity, and didn't explain the transportation fees. Stuart didn't ask any further questions and instead said with a smile, apart from Mr. Stanton, you're the best detective I've ever met. Did you join this profession midway, or have you studied under a great detective prior to this? What great detective have I studied? There's quite a number. There's Sherlock. That's exactly what I was thinking about. Like the original Sherlock Holmes. Oh man, there's Sherlock Holmes, Hercule. I actually don't know this one. Hercule Poirot, the forever elementary school student, and the guy who swindles others in the name of his grandfather. Klein suddenly lampooned. He thought and said, I come from Mitzi-shire and I did various jobs before I became a detective. That's why you're so rich in knowledge and experience, Stuart said in enlightenment. Hey, I'm a bit embarrassed by your flattery. Klein smiled but didn't respond. Stuart took a sip of his coffee and said, Sherlock, I hope you can provide me with the help in the future. If I encounter a different case that I'm unable to solve, my social connections in the detective circles have widened. Klein replied cautiously, if I have the time when the time comes. After some idle conversation, Stuart tactfully offered to take his leave, and Klein accompanied him to the door. After putting on his coat and hat, Stuart was about to open the door and leave when he suddenly turned around and sincerely said, Sherlock, you live too simply. Your talent deserves better coffee. Klein was stunned for a moment, but then he merely felt a bit embarrassed. He laughed dryly and said, I can tell the quality of coffee. It's all the same to me. After sending Stuart off, Klein went to the butcher's to buy a few ox bones and some beef. He went to the vegetable shop to buy some ingredients such as white radish, rounding up all the required condiments. He wanted to prepare beef bone radish soups for dinner and eat it with the leftover rice. As for noon, he found a random restaurant on the streets and ate a small serving of lamb chop. After a leisurely afternoon, Klein continued to study the Book of Secrets, and the more he read, the more he realized that he knew little about mysticism. Fortunately, he had a solid foundation. He quickly grasped many things once he came into contact with them and pondered over them. In the evening, he smelled the tantalizing fragrance of the bone stew, and his Adam apple bobbed up and down twice. He heard the doorbell again and thought it was a bungle to signal dinner time. Gulping down his saliva, Klein walked behind the door and reached for the handle. The image of the visitor naturally appeared in his mind. It was a handsome but not masculine red-eyed vampire, Emlyn White. There's no need to rush him at all. What a man of his word. Klein opened the door and smiled. Good evening, Mr. White. Emlyn raised his chin, letting his impatience show on his expression. He was about to say something when Klein looked at his brown clerical robes and said with a knowing smile, "You just came over from the Harvest Church. Who was the one who said he could resist last night?" Unable to maintain his gentlemanly demeanor, Emlyn gritted his teeth and said, that old man. Damn it, how do I get rid of this inducing suggestion? Before Klein could reply, he patted the clothes on his chest and said with a stern face, "Take me to the patient. There's a good dinner waiting for me." As he spoke, he sniffed indiscriminately, and he had smelled something. Klein picked up his coat and hat without saying another word. "All right, I'll take you there now." After closing the door and taking a few steps, he cautiously asked, "Do you have a certificate to practice medicine?" "How else am I supposed to convince Lawyer Drigan to allow Miss Doris to take the medicine?" Emlyn looked up at the sky at a 45-degree angle and said, "I don't need those papers to prove my ability." Before Klein frowned, he casually added, "It's too simple. I obtained it easily by going through the process." This tone makes it sound like he's rather proud of receiving a certificate for practicing medicine. Klein smiled without a word. Looking at the wet ground in front of him, Emlyn casually said, "Do you know what I like the most about Backland?" "What?" Klein responded without any curiosity. Emlyn chuckled and said, "The persistent gloomy sky with fog that bloats out of the sun. This allows me to go out during the day without feeling too much discomfort. It's great except for the air." In other words, the sun really would deal certain damage to the vampires. Fortunately, I thought of this yesterday and didn't bring the sun brooch with me. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to communicate with Emlyn. Klein seemed to gain an understanding. As they conversed, they had already arrived outside Rodriguez, and Klein went up to ring the doorbell. After a while, the door opened and Miss Doris, who was dressed thickly at home, said with a pleasant surprise, "Mr. Detective, I wasn't expecting you." Brody, the black cat, crouched to the side, looking at Emlyn warily, and thought as it felt that something was amiss about him. "Oh, it knows it's a vampire." Heisenberg? Wait, what are we talking about? Breaking Bad? "I became acquainted with a doctor who's good at treating lung diseases, so I've come..." Oh, they're gonna treat her. "So I've asked him to come and give you a checkup. Let me do introductions. This is Dr. Emlyn White." Oh, that is so sweet. "Is that so? You still actually remember this? What a good child." Doris happily invited the two inside. Oh, that is so sweet. Child. Klein's mouth twitched, but he didn't say anything in the end. On the way into the living room, Emlyn whispered, "The patient's problems are they're irreversible. She's very old and rather weak. Even if I give her medicine, she would only be able to live through this winter. She would pass away in 3 to 5 years, unless she's given an immortal potion or like, as spoken in legends. That's all that can be done. Or should I turn her into a sanguine? But at her age, she can no longer endure the changes of beyond her characteristics can do to her body. Furthermore, my parents and I don't have any excessive characteristics less. Irreversible." Klein was startled and silently sighed. He said to Emlyn, "Make her the medicine first. We'll leave that to after the winter." "All right, I have a type of ready-made medicine with me that's suitable for all kinds of situations." Emlyn didn't stand on ceremony and sat down on the sofa. At that moment, Lawyer Drigan was walking out of the kitchen, and he took off his apron. He asked Klein about the purpose of his visit. "Dr. White, what do you think of my grandmother's lung disease?" Drigan asked seriously. Emlyn was obviously very experienced in such situations. He first explained the ins and outs of the lung disease, and after most it flew past Jurgen's head, he said, "What she needs most is warm and healthy air. That's my most sincere advice. In addition, I have special medicine that she can take for free." As he spoke, he took out his certificate and a small metal bottle. "Will there be any side effects?" Jurgen asked cautiously. "No, the only problem is that it can't cure the root of the problem completely. It's just a temporary cure." Emlyn replied in a very professional manner, "If it weren't for Detective Moriarty, I wouldn't let anyone try it." "Perhaps I can give it a try," coughed Miss Doris interrupted. Jurgen glanced at Klein, who was performing a divination prior to this, nodded firmly. "All right." Jurgen finally made his decision. He watched warily as Miss Doris drank the bottle of medicine and carefully observed her reaction. There wasn't much of a change to Miss Doris at first, but she gradually began to feel her breathing lighten. Aw. Are we actually gonna help her? Come on, man. You can't tell me this and then she dies, man. I'm gonna actually cry. There wasn't much change to Miss Doris at first, but she gradually began to feel her breathing lighten. She stood up and bent down to pick up the cat. She happily said, I feel much better. Seeing this scene, Jurgen, usually stoic face, and his lips curled up. However, Klein was thinking about 3 to 5 years. He curled a smile inside to himself. This can also be considered a type of magic show, I guess. Using beyond her powers to create fake outcomes to make the audience happy? No, what? I'm gonna cry, dude. I like her, man. Using, like, even she's barely been in the series. I'm like, this can be considered a type of magic show, I guess. Using beyond her powers to create fake outcomes to make the audience happy. Damn, man, that hits, bro. That line. To create fake outcomes, just to make the audience happy. Damn, man. All right, let's pause. Let's update. Let's digest that moment, and let's continue. Chapter 372 is called Missing Case. Oh, man. Man, sometimes you just read something, and you can't help but think about real life. Damn, man. That's fucked up. That's how you know this series is good. You know a series is good when it, like, has you thinking about, like, your own life and, like, your own personal experiences, and you're just like, damn, man. I don't know. That happens to me from time to time. When I get really into something, I'm like, I start thinking about, like, my own life and whatnot, and I'm like, damn, dude, that's good. 51 minutes 08 seconds. Yeah, yesterday I read a doujin and made me shed a tear. Aw, yeah, it happens, man. I remember reading Where's Easy At. We are at 372. Anyone, when reading alright, that's what you feel? Well, I mean, I have a question. I've been looking at the poll. I did not know Shadow Slave was a 2,000 plus series. So I'll leave it up to you if you guys are down for this. I don't know if we should take that series really slow and just do like 5 chapters on the weekend. Nothing crazy. 5 chapters. Or even Revered Insanity. It's like 5 chapters on the weekend, right? Even though they're long, my reminders are working. You're getting better at updating the chapter and timestamps. Are you guys applauding? Are we digesting? The chapters are shorter? Yeah, I feel like the chapters would be shorter, right? I feel like it'd be low-key easier to digest. Not short novels better? Yeah, and then people were also mentioning some short novels that are also really good. So I don't know if I should hold off on those 2 from the big 3 and just read. Yeah, no, I know, I'm gonna stick to this. But I'm just thinking like, oh, maybe on the weekends I read another light novel, right? Just for like 5 chapters. You're gonna let your rival catch up? No. This is extra. Mother of Learning is what I always recommended for beginners. You did mention that, Mother of Learning. No, this won't slow down our pace, brothers and sisters. This is only extra content, guys. Extra bigger content. Also, so I guess we can see if we can like get more people to join in, right? Like we bring in more people. Like, for example, we read Mother Earth and be like, oh shit, he's reading Lord of Mysteries. Let me turn into that. Or we read author's POV because people also mentioned that. Oh, he's reading a bigger series, Lord of Mysteries. Let me tune into that, you know? We bribe them in with a smaller series and we make them stay for the bigger series. Don't go for RI unless you want to commit to it, in my opinion. It's one of the kinds you have to commit. Okay. You can read the first 20 chapters of Shadow Slave to see if you like it first. Well, I mean, I know I'll probably like it. People are saying, like, if I liked MMM, I'll like SSS. Or SS. Yeah, I'm planning to read... Okay, would you guys mind if I just start reading manhwa off stream and upload the reactions? Or would you guys still prefer me to read those on stream and then private the stream? Because I think I can still get away. I can still get away with that. Hello time is less enough and you're planning to thin it more? No, we aren't going to be thinning it. This would just be extra stuff when we have the time. Yeah? Alright, let's keep doing it for now. Crazy start. Oh, Richie, you should have told me that. We're about to drop, imagine, look, we're going to drop LOTM and start Shadow Slave. No, I'm kidding. Bro, I got to see my girlfriend soon, so I was watching free rent edits with her and Hemo. I love Hemo. Like, any, like, edits with Hemo and free rent, it touches my heart. It's such a beautiful anime, dude. I love free rent, man. It's like, I started SS 3 days ago. Yeah, I did see. Man, you said you were like 70, 80 chapters. What the fuck? You're reading quick. All right, we have finished our G Fuel. Let's continue. All right, maybe we'll do free rent is so gas. How dare you, bro? Let's read. Okay, yeah, no, we're not gonna stall and talk about anime. How dare you, Misty? That broke my heart. It's so good. Just watch episode 1. It's such a beautiful. It's literally, it's like the anime is over and we're just doing a really long extended epilogue with an elf, right? And it's like long lived her original party. I like it. It's a beautiful. It's nothing crazy, but it's a beautiful series with some crazy ass like animations. Mysterious Fool, we should send you the Shadow Realm. Bruh, does gas mean good? Because I don't know if this is me being a boomer, but when someone says gas, I think it's ass. Because that's how people, back then, people was like, oh, that shit's gas. People meant it was bad. If you don't read Shadow Slave on stream, then you should just read it on your own time. Okay. Okay, boomer. It's like back then when people, I'm talking like back in the old days when we had textbooks, when people said gas, it meant it was bad. So gas means good. So why not just say it's good? Oh, shut up. Let's keep reading. Let's keep reading, bruvs. All right, let's keep going, man. Yes, man, gas means the same thing as fire. Didn't just say it's fire. Gas means, oh, back in my day. Back then, we never had ChatGPT. You know, we had textbooks. Easy boomer moments. Yeah, somebody said gas the other day. I think somebody said gas video. I'm like, do you not like my video? I guess they did like the video in retrospect. All right, good to know. Good to know. All right, let's keep reading. 372. Zero stalling. Zero stalling. Zero stalling. Chapter 372 is called Missing Case. After waiting for more than half an hour and confirming that nothing unexpected had happened, Klein and Emlyn White left Lawyer Jiggin's house and proceeded in silence. Each of them preoccupied with their own thoughts. Soon they arrived outside 15 Mink Street. The vampire Emlyn White put his fist to his mouth, coughed lightly, and said, "The payment he had been paid. I hope we won't meet again in the future." "That sounds pretty cool, but Mr. White, have you forgotten something important?" Klein smiled politely. "I will visit Bishop Petrovsky every now and then, and I hope you will not be at the Harvest Church when the time comes. That way I don't have to busy myself with finding a way to solve the inducing suggestions planted in your psyche." Emlyn's white expression suddenly became very strange. He stayed silent for 2 seconds before he raised his chin and said, "We have many powerful mystiologists among the Sanguine. I will write them for help." I pronounced that wrong. I'm sorry. I'm always gonna come at you with unk energy, but it's hype unk energy, bro. Don't get that mixed up. It's not like unk energy. 100% awesome, tacular, gas unk energy, as the young folk would say. After he finished speaking, he pressed his. That was such a bad thing. Weird unk energy. You know, we're gonna cut that. We're not gonna cut that. We're not editing this. Moving on. After he finished speaking, he pressed his hands to his chest and bowed to bid farewell. Turning around and taking a few steps, he suddenly slowed down, turned his head, and asked hesitantly, "What were you cooking over there?" We're always cooking good theories. 18. Yeah, just turned 18 last week. "Before bone radish soup with rice and chili peppers." I'm a young guy. I'm a young lad. My back doesn't hurt. We're good. Turning around and taking a few steps, he suddenly slowed down, turned his head, and asked hesitantly, "What were you cooking over there?" "Before bone radish soup with rice and chili peppers from the old Faina Potter Highlands." Klein said in anticipation as he breathed in fragrance drifting out from the house. Emlyn frowned and shook his head. "Chili peppers aren't things fancied by the Sanguine. Frankly speaking, it's hard for me to imagine a vampire eating chili peppers. Of course, I occasionally imagine a vampire holding steamed bun and chewing on garlic and onions." Klein silently lampooned, pointing to the door, and indicated that he was about to enjoy his dinner. Emlyn White thought for a second, lowered his voice, and said in deliberation, "Last night I thought over things for a long time and found that you actually didn't do anything. So why are you asking for compensation? The old man would have let me leave at any moment." Klein chuckled. He's 70. "No, that's not how the accountants are done. Your parents assigned admission to find you, not to save you. In the end, they found you. According to the agreement, the reward should belong to me. Besides, if I hadn't reminded you, you might have stayed in the Harvest Church for weeks or months before you realized that you were free to leave. Furthermore, you wouldn't have noticed the seed planted in your mind. Are you hinting that my intelligence isn't up to par? Emmeline's face twisted. No, I'm saying it directly. Ooh, we have beef right here. No, I'm saying it directly. Klein smiled but didn't say anything else. He just opened the door and went straight to the kitchen, his mind full of clear and alluring soap. Give my reading. The white rice, the soft yet chewy beef, the marrow hidden deep in the bones, and sweet, refreshing radishes with meaty flavor, and the shredded chili from the faint Potter Highlands. In the spicy hot shreds, there were also pink rose salt and green parsley leaves. On Thursday morning, as promised, Klein went to the valley for money and coffee shop in Eastborough. Old Collier, who was sitting wearing the same thick jacket as before, was sitting in the corner, matching the tea that barely tasted like tea with a loaf of black bread. Klein came in front of him, took out things he had prepared long ago, and pushed them towards him. It was a payment consistent of 2 5-soldi notes, 4 1-soldi notes, and a handful of copper pennies specially designed to increase the effects of payment. Old Collier stared straight at them for quite a while before finally reaching out his right hand to take them with a tremble. He looked at the money over and over again, raised his hand to wipe his eyes, and squeezed out a smile. At the dock, we carry heavy goods and do some troublesome cleaning with our feet in the cold and dirty water, only for 1 soldi a day, and there was a total of 15 soldi here. Klein listened in silence. After a few seconds later, he said, "What have you heard recently? What did you notice?" Old Kohler put away his payment, took another sip of his tea, pinched the corners of his eyes, and said, "I've met a lot of dock workers, and I've recounted with friends I used to know when I was a tramp. Some of them have found employment in the factories, and some of them have been switching between the workhouse and parks, just like how I was in the past. Recently, there have been a rumor for who knows where that since we believe in one of the 7 gods, why don't we directly pray to the creator of everything? It's said that he didn't truly pass away, and he remains in everyone's body and in all things." Isn't that what the psychology alchemist said earlier? The one Audrey was talking to, in a way, everybody is connected. And he remains in everyone's body and in all things. That is a coincidence. That is a coincidence. Yeah, look at that. That was a coincidence. I lost my place as I said that. Everybody's body and all things. Praying to him will result in our redemption. Not only will we enter his kingdom after death, okay, but we will also have a better life before death. For example, we don't need to work so hard, and we can have butter and oily meat every day. Is this some theory of the Aurora Order has spread about the fallen creator after what happened to Lenavus? And I assume his land is the Forsaken Land. Coincidence? I think not. You guys pretty good. The psychology, Austin, we're talking about everyone is connected to each other. Yeah, no, I know they said everybody's connected subconsciously in some way, right? My people, the homies. But it kind of leads to that same thought thinking, right? Like everybody's connected in some way. So maybe he lives in all of us in some way. This is kind of scary. Coincidence? I think maybe. Yes, maybe. No. That was one too many coincidences. One too many coincidences. Let's reread this. Is this some theory the Aurora Order has spread about the fallen creator? After what happened to Lenavus, they've begun to pay attention to the poor in Eastborough, the dock area, and the factory districts, hoping to use them for certain purposes. I wonder if the 3 churches have noticed this. They probably have. Klein tucked a piece of paper between the 2 slices of toast and took a bite without knowing what to expect. Old Collier went on for a while before saying, "Mr. Detective, according to your instructions, I paid attention to the female textile workers. In the end, with the help of the police, their struggles failed, but the leaders became the factory supervisors, and a third of them lost their jobs. Some of them are actively looking for new jobs, some have become street girls, and some have gone off somewhere. The entire East Borough is in chaos. If this was the situation where Rear Admiral Hurricane Quillingus came to Backland, he could come to Eastborough to kill one of the 2 people every day without anyone discovering and noticing them." Klein signed in his heart. Old Collier continued to recount what he saw and heard daily before saying, "By the way, Liv's youngest daughter has gone missing." Liv? I don't remember who's Liv. Liv. Klein was certain that he had never heard of this name. Old Collier said then said in realization, she's the laundry maid you and Mr. Reporter met last time? She is the laundry maid you and Mr. Reporter met the last time. The one who was arguing with someone. She was always at home doing the washing with her 2 daughters, but yesterday, when her 2 daughters... I don't remember her. But yesterday, when her 2 daughters were returning home from delivering the laundry, one of them ended up missing. The younger one, what a pity. She's been a widow for years, and she has always been counting on her 2 daughters, and now, sigh, the police in Eastboro definitely won't look too hard for her. Unlucky people tend to meet with even worse situations because they have no ability to resist dangers or change their environment. This phrase suddenly flashed through Klein's mind. After a few seconds of stone-like silence, he said, take me to see them. I'm a detective, so maybe I can help them find her. They have no money. Old Kalir reminded him, they'll pay in another way. With an applause, right? Klein picked up his hat and cane and said, I occasionally do volunteer work too. Sherwood Borough, the apartment with the 2 ladies originally rented. Shio had resumed her life as a bounty hunter, and Fours hastened the pace of her new book, hoping to save the money needed for the Beyonder ingredients required by the Trickmaster potion. But writing a book wasn't something one could write that easily. Fours scratched her hair irritably and decided to go out for a walk to seek out inspiration. As she walked, she found that she had unknowingly returned to a familiar place. Diagonally ahead of her was the Josefa Clinic, a fairly large private clinic where she had first worked. Oh, the clinic with the old lady. Oh, yeah, I remember it. Yeah, this is where she first ran into the Beyonder. Like, oh, do you want to be like me? After staring at it for a while, Force thought of the old lady who had guided her into the Beyond world. She turned into a small alley on the right and took out a short cut to a nearby street. The 2 sides of the street had leaves fluttering down the parcel tree. It was a relatively quiet place. Force remember that the old lady lived at Unit 39. Back then, she would occasionally visit personally to deliver medicine, give her injections, or even to help her with her daily chores. It's almost been 3 years. That place should have been rented out again. There might have been several changes in tenants. I still remember when I came to tidy up the items she left behind. I discovered many notebooks about mysticism. Force walked under nearly barren parcel tree and slowly approached Unit 39. As she recalled her past experiences, she gradually gained some inspiration for writing. At that moment, she saw an old man in a heavy woolen coat and a black half-top hat standing in front of Unit 39. He had rung the bell 3 times. After a few minutes, seeing that no one was opening the door, the old man with blue eyes shook his head and turned around. He whispered in puzzlement, still no one. What does that mean? The husband? We'll find out. He suddenly noticed that Forrest, who was looking at him from nearby, he hurriedly walked over gently and urgently smiled, said, "Beautiful lady, do you live in this district? Do you know Libero and Elisa? Elisa, isn't that the old lady's name? They haven't been any tenants in that house lately." After some deliberation, Forrest said, "I don't know if Miss Elisa I know is the one you're looking for. She lived here a long time ago, but she passed away 3 years ago. What about Libero?" The old man with wrinkles at the corners of his eyes hurriedly asked. "Her husband passed away." Oh, you're right. The husband passed away before her. "Her husband passed away even earlier than she did," Forrest answered honestly. The elder was momentarily stunned before revealing a sorrowful expression. After a moment of silence, he said, "Thank you, good lady. I am the elder brother of Libero, and I've been living in Mitsirshire all this time, and I haven't received any letters from them for a long time. I decided to come pay them a visit." Oh, can you tell me what happened to them in the past few years? Oh, this is sad. Why is this such a sad stream? Oh, this is sad, man. Miss Aulisa's husband's elder brother. Could he be a descendant of the family she spoke of? Oh, what a coincidence. What a coincidence. Forrest suddenly, sounds like somebody's using his quill again. Putting things into place, maybe? I think not. Coincidence? Forrest suddenly snapped her senses and replied with a smile, "No problem." She quickly thought through what she could and couldn't say. The elder pointed behind him and said, "There's quite a nice coffee shop over there." Klein once again stepped into the humid room of a slightly old apartment in Eastboro. He saw the woman who had quarreled with the street girl last time over her contempt towards her profession. She was standing in a pile of clothes. Her wrinkled face had lost a lot of its spirit. She lost her laborious drive and she looked lifeless. As for her eldest daughter, the 17 to 18-year-old girl who was sitting by the bed and washing clothes, she kept sobbing. It's all my fault. I didn't watch over her properly. I shouldn't have taken her into the secluded alley. She even said that she was going to learn a few more words at the free school tonight. It's my fault. It's all my fault. Liv suddenly regained her sense and turned to look at the eldest daughter. She wiped away her sad expression and berated her fiercely. What are you crying for? Get up and wash the clothes. Do you want to starve? Do you plan on not even being able to attend the free school? After screaming, she saw Klein and Old Clear at the door. Old Clear, this is, she asked doubtfully. Oh, okay. Let's pause. Update. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. All right. We're feeling good today, right? Yeah? Everybody? Do you still remember why Clyde chose to go to Backland? No. Yes? Wait, hold up. Let's pause and update and we can talk about that. Did I pause it? Fuck. He is slowly becoming him after making all those tier lists. Guys, call me a madpot because I have a theory. Maybe Easy is Boofy in the past and we corrupt him into brain rot novels and he'll shed his skin and become Boofy. What does Boofy even mean? And don't forget, Boofy is Guzin Ren. Wait, what? What's Boofy? Wait, username. I'm confused. Becoming God isn't cheap. Old Coolier. Old Coolier. Oh, Coolier. Yeah, Coolier. Coolier. What is this pronunciation? What it? Kohler. No, it's Kohler. Boofy, another YouTuber who talks about web novels. Boofy is a YouTuber. Easy, don't you dare forget to update this chapter. Sorry. Oh my god, I actually fucking forgot. I said I was going to update it first and I didn't update it first. I've never heard that expression before. Boofy. I've never once heard that. At least when I've watched YouTube videos, I've actually only ever really watched like YouTube anime or manga reactions. I've always been an anime manga guy. No, Boofy is a guy. Got it. Not an expression. Got it. Boofy. I'll look at him then. Yeah, because I've usually only ever watched like anime or manga reactions, and that's kind of always been it. I've always primarily watched anime, manga, and then like I play video games. Like whenever I watch YouTube videos for like my hobbies, it'd be that. Recently, I've been watching Critical Role, like Dungeons and Dragons, because I've been getting into that. And because I played Warhammer, I've been kind of getting into Warhammer. But those are usually like the only, like I'll see like Warhammer lore videos. But I've never seen like, I've never really watched like light novel videos or stuff like that. Like when they started making mono anime, like Tower of God or God of High School, I started watching like manhwa channels. I'm Boofy so much right now. I'm reading so many bad web novels. I'm going insane. Watch Call of Cthulhu, no rolls barreled. Watch Call of Cthulhu. No rolls barred. What is that? Alright, I'll look at it. I mean, I say I'll look at it, but I might forget. But we will do our best to look at it. Alright, timestamp is updated. Copy and paste chapter title, and let's keep reading. What's with the boss music right now? Let's skip the boss music. There's no need for boss music right now. Play from Ludwig. No Rose Bard is a YouTube channel? Ah. Hold up. Flashbang! NRB? Oh, for board games. Okay. Okay. Bet. Call of Cthulhu. Oh! Okay, it's a game. Okay, got you. Alright, let's keep going. Alright, that makes more sense. I thought it was another YouTube channel. Alright, let's keep going. Chapter 373 is called Search. Old Kohler seemed to be a... I hope I pronounced it right this time. Old Kohler seemed to be slightly afraid of his ferocity as he subconsciously took a step back. Liv, this is a detective, and he wishes to help you find Daisy. Liv's wrinkled, peeling face turned to Klein and said coldly, "We've already made a police report." Although she was perhaps in her 30s, she looked to be in her 50s. Klein looked around the room where many wet clothes hung. He vaguely remembered the last time he was here. There There had been a 13 or 14-year-old girl carefully holding a crude homemade iron to iron. Oh, the one that had the burn marks. I remember. Yeah, it's when they were interviewing all the people and they said, "Oh, we don't have time. We got to get back to work." Now I remember who we were. It's when they were interviewing everybody in Eastboro. They were the one that turned down the interview and said, like, "No, we don't have time." Her hands had been covered with burns. This is what I remember. Her hands were covered in burns. She's the missing Daisy. Klein looked back at the laundrymaid, Liv, and said in a neutral tone, "Do you believe that the East Thorough police will really be looking for Daisy? Are you sure the people who caused Daisy to go missing wouldn't cast their sights on your family? Do you wish to lose another daughter after losing one?" Damn, that was really straightforward. Easy getting a brain blast. Brain blast. Peak incoming. Do you wish to lose another daughter after losing one? When the cruel yet heart-wrenching words reached Liv's ears, the indifferent expression on her face slowly crumbled. She turned to gape, but she couldn't say anything. The corners of her eyes gradually turned red. She abruptly lowered her head and muttered to herself in pain and despair, "I don't have any money." The room suddenly became silent. Even the sobbing girl didn't make another sound. Klein pursed his lips and let out a silent sigh. "I occasionally do volunteer work simply to help others. Heh. I haven't done so in a long time, so please give me a chance." Volunteer work? Liv lifted her head and ruminated over the phrase. Klein nodded and silently answered, "The job will be done pro bono?" The job will be done pro bono. No, it's not completely free either. Kindness will bring me great satisfaction. Oh, a round of applause. Since you have no other solutions, why not give it a try? Liv was silent for a moment. She raised her hand, which had wrinkled for being soaked in water for an extended period of time, wiped her eyes, and said in a low voice, "Mr. Detective, you really are a kind and good gentleman." Her voice suddenly became choked with sobs. Oh, this is so sad. She just wants to find her daughter. So she was acting... Wow, I'm getting... This is a random emotional stream, man. So she was keeping up the farce, telling her daughter, like, she was trying to be like the stern mother, like, no, get back to work. Like, you need to do this for yourself. Like, soaping isn't gonna help. But when she gets help, she shows her true colors. That's sweet. This was what happened at midday before yesterday at noon. Daisy delivered a load of washed laundry under Frazia's leads. It was just outside Eastboro and they needed to cross several streets. In order to rush back for lunch, Frisia had chosen a secluded alley, but a momentary distraction left her realizing that Daisy, who had been following her, was gone. She retracted her route but never found Daisy, and Daisy hasn't come back yet. Where did this happen? Frisia. The girl named Frisia had already stood up and her eyes were red and puffy. She sobbed and said, right here, in Brooklyn Axel lands. "Mr. Detectives, will Daisy be alright?" "Probably," Klein replied without much of an expression. He looked around and asked, "Do you have anything that Daisy often carries?" "I can borrow a police dog. It has an excellent sense of smell and can be used to find a person based on the lingering scent." "No," Liv thought for a moment and said with a sad expression. Frisia once again shed tears. She felt as if the situation had turned into one of despair once again. Suddenly, she blinked and said, "Waiting, there's something Daisy vocabulary book." "Vocabulary book?" Old Kohler asked. Liv sniffed and said, "I make Frisia and Daisy attend the free school at night. I can keep washing clothes, but they can't always be doing the same. This lady is such a good mother." Klein couldn't help but sigh. The free class offered at night were set up by the three major churches of some charity organizations. From 8 to 10 o'clock in the evening, the school would be free of charge and would even provide stationery and a certain amount of paper. It was an education that was need blind, and it would be at most involve some religious knowledge. Klein had heard old Neil. R.I.P. Sad memories. Change music. Let's change. What should we change? Bruh, Ludwig in the background OST. I know. Sad memories. Let's change the music. You know what? Near music fits. Let's play Grandma. Let's play Kaine. That's a good one. This one fits. Old memories. These are old. Man, I'm getting so sentimental reading today. What the fuck, dude? These are really sentimental read through today. I'm thinking about the old memories with the old Nighthawks. I'm thinking about like IRL. It's good, man. I love this series. And you know what? I'm actually not stuttering that much because I feel like I'm not trying to rush myself today. And another thing, I'm following with my mouse. When I don't follow with my mouse, I get kind of lost sometimes. Or like sometimes my eyes start twitching mid-sentence, bro. It's crazy. But look, I'm trying to follow, trying to be nice, calm, and we're doing pretty good. I think we're doing pretty good. All right, let's keep going. After I find my fucking place. The free classes were at Old Neil. Klein had heard Old Neil mention that he had once been a teacher. Oh, he did this? He did volunteer work? Klein had heard Old Neil mention that he had once been a teacher for the Church of the Evernight Goddess for several years. Because there were very few people who volunteered to be the teachers in the free school, a unique teaching method was established. Teachers would arrive early, gather a few students who had been the best academic progress, imbue them with the content for the day's class, and then put them in charge of teaching the different classes. The teachers would supervise correcting any mistakes. It was called a tutorial system. That's sweet. Corresponding to the free classes were the free organizations such as the technical workers' workshops, which were very truly accessible to the poor and one of the few outlets to escape from poverty. Unfortunately, there were too few similar organizations, and it was difficult for them to play a substantial role. At this moment, the sobbing Freja added, Daisy liked studying very much. She was made the tutor of her class by her teacher. She would put together the vocabulary words, and she had copied and hugged them in her bed every day. She would wake up early and go out into the street to recite them under the light of the dawn. She always found it regretful, and there was no street lamps around here. As she spoke, Fraser rushed back to the bunk bed and took out a stack of crumbled papers from under the tattered pillows. Due to it being in a humid environment for extended periods of time, the words that were copied on it had already been smudged. The edge of the straight sheets of paper were turned out, as though she had been turned over and over by someone for a long time. Mr. Detective, is this okay? Fraser had declined the so-called vocabulary book, which had no bindings at all. He anxiously asked. Yes, Klein answered very simply. He wasn't trying to comfort Fraser, although it wasn't the kind of items Daisy carried around all the time. It was something that had accompanied her all this while. Moreover, it had been projected with Daisy's strong will. It was excellent for using it as a dowsing to seek her out. He casually flipped through the vocabulary books and said, Then I'll start taking action. The earlier I find Daisy, the better. Liv and Fraser were unable to find words to describe their feeling. All they could do was watch as Klein and old Kohler leave, repeating the words, thank you. Oh, this is sad, bro. I hope Daisy is okay, man. It's going to be sad if she's not. Oh, my God. I'm getting too attached to these random ladies in Eastboro. It's moving the heart, you know? Thank you, Mr. Detective, and thank you, gentlemen. Oh, and thank you, good gentlemen. After leaving the apartment, Klein turned to old Kohler and said, you should pay attention to those female textile workers who lost their jobs, especially those who have neither found jobs nor become street girls, and pay more attention to those who have gone off to unknown places. Pay attention to your own safety, ask less and listen more. If you do this, we'll get you a bonus. All right, old Kohler nodded heavily. He didn't immediately bid farewell. After hesitating for a moment, he asked with a tone full of expectation, You'll find Daisy, won't you, Mr. Detective? I can only say that I will do my best. Klein didn't make any guarantees. Old Kohler sighed and smiled bitterly. I've lost my child, so I'm very unwilling to see this sort of thing happen. He waved his hand and walked... Oh, he lost his child? He waved his hand and walked towards another street. Klein left the area at a leisurely pace, wrapping Daisy's vocabulary book around the head of the cane, and without attracting any attention, completed a dowsing route seeking. There are results towards the northwest for the time being. It is not possible to confirm if I'm surviving an interference or misdirection. He looked down in the direction in which the cane was going to fall and put out his palm to steady it. I butchered that. According to the revelation, Klein went all the way of Eastboro and hired a rental carriage. Half an hour later, the carriage would occasionally change direction, stopped at Iris Street, near Sherwood Borough and Westboro. It stopped in front of his house with a vast lawn, a wide garden, a small fountain square, and a marble statue. At this moment, Klein's cane had fallen down inside the carriage and was aimed straight at the direction. Through the window, Klein could see the guards patrolling inside the gates and furious dogs with their tongues out. The security inside was quite tight. More importantly, even without using divination, the spiritual intuition made him sense that there was a great danger hidden within. What is this place? How can Daisy's disappearance involve such dangerous place? Klein thought for a few seconds, then he told the carriage driver to keep going. The carriage driver replied with some surprise, Sir, are you not here to visit Mr. Capim? Capim. The name sounds extremely familiar to Klein. It does not sound familiar to me. He smiled and asked, What do you think? Why do you think so? There will always be people coming out from Eastboro who ride in my carriage all the way here. This is the home of the rich and powerful Mr. Capim, the carriage driver casually replied. Eastboro Capim Tycoon? Klein suddenly remembered who Capim was. There were many rumors that he was the leader of the bloody criminal. Oh, from the gang, right? The tycoon gang. Ah, the leader. There were many rumors that he was the leader of a bloody criminal organization which was stained with blood. It was involved in the disappearance of many innocent girls. And in reality, he was a tycoon who knew quite a few important figures. Without another word, Klein leaned back against the wall and half closed his eyes. The horse carriage slowly moved forward. The luxurious villa was left behind as it disappeared from the window. It was a small booth in a coffee shop. Forrest already knew that the old man across her was called Lawrence Nord, who came from the Mid-Sea Shire, Constant City. So this is our first time we've met somebody from Mid-Sea Shire, Constant City, and was a public school teacher. He didn't know that Miss Olisa's husband was dead, nor that Miss Olisa had inherited his estate and become a Beyonder, much less know that Miss Olisa had left me her relics. Could he also be a Beyonder? Does he have the ability to divine? After taking a sip of Pheromone coffee, he organized her words and said, I was a doctor of the nearby Yosivif clinic, and Miss Alusa came to see me often. This was when her husband, Mr. Libero, had already passed away. Sometimes I would accompany her by chatting with her and helping her do things. So in the end, she made a will, giving me her savings in cash. She donated her jewelry and book furnitures and other things to charity. This was done under supervision of her assigned law firm. You know what, man? This is reminding me of an old man that used to speak to me back in the day. I used to take public transportation. Without getting too specific, I used to take public transportation, and this old man would occasionally sit with me at the same time. It was a nice old man, dude. And like this guy, he likes speaking, you know? And I wonder now how he's doing, man. But man, those good times. That's crazy, man. It's making me think about this old dude I used to speak to for a long time on the bus. That's cool, dude. Forrest was telling the truth, but not the whole truth. Lawrence pinched his forehead and said, what a pity. I don't understand why Alisa didn't contact me over all those years. She didn't mention your name. She was vaguely dissatisfied with Miss Lobero's family. Forrest replied frankly. Lawrence fell silent for a moment before saying, thank you for informing me. It has made me understand certain things. By the way, where are Lobero and Alisa buried? Grimes Cemetery. Forrest took out a pocket watch and gave it a look before saying, Mr. Lawrence, I still have things to tend to. I should be leaving. Lawrence didn't stop her. He got up and saw her off. After sitting down again, he rubbed his temples in distress and silently muttered to himself, Lobero is dead and he didn't leave any children behind, and I don't know what Alisa did to his beyond characteristics. Richard died at the hands of the Aurora Order. What the? He's saying all this? Wait. After sitting down again, he rubbed his temples in distress and silently muttered to himself, Libero is dead and he didn't leave any children behind. So with like the innate characteristic born, right? And I don't know what Olisa did to his beyond characteristics. Richard died at the hands of the... Oh, Richard? Who's Richard? Richard died at the... Somebody else. This is another person. Richard died at the hands of the Aurora Order. Sam is somebody else. Sam doesn't even wish to contact us at all, having no interest in shouldering the responsibility of the family name. Abraham. Will the Abraham family slowly disappear like this? I completely... Wait, was it revealed that they were part of the Abraham family? Because the Abraham family was part of the long list of family names from the second epoch, right? Or the third? Or the fourth? One of those. Anywhere between 1, 2, 3, and 4. It was like, yeah, it was during all the family name reveals. Okay. All right, let's pause. Yeah, okay. See, the brain is jogging. I am remembering some things. I've been re-looking at my notes. All right, the Mr. Door family. Was it the Mr. Door family? The 5 families of the... Yeah, so I remember there was the 5 great families during the Tudor Empire. Or yeah. I remember. Okay, let's pause, update, and let's keep reading. Hold up. We can keep streaming before I have to send a message to Miss Izugiki. Hold up, I think we're good right now. Still got some time. Bethel oh, you're right, it was Bethel. Old Collier in real life. Wait. The fact that RI needs more memory than LOTM, yeah, he will forget most things. Okay, maybe we should hold off then on RI. But it does sound fun. This is a deep stream, so much Izugiki. Yeah, there was some Izugiki lore. How long is volume 2 up? So I looked ahead. Volume 2 ends at in the late 400s, 470, 480, or 470 to 490, somewhere in between there. I think it's easier to follow than LOTM. For the most part, it does have a fair share of confusion. Update chapter. Whew, almost forgot update. Almost forgot update. Ooh, that was close. Mr. Jen, can restrain yourself from what? Lekalawa? Lekalawa? Okay. All right, let's pause. Okay, we did pause. Timestamp. We are 1 hour, 18 minutes, 33 seconds. Copy. Hold up. Hold up. Hills of. Hold up. Radiant. Hills of the Radiant Wind. I like this song. I want to see if this song gets picked up or not, so let me put it on my potential list. Where's my potential playlist? So I'll play this one in a bit. Go to chapter 170. What do you mean 176? Oh my god. You know what, man? I am so sore. But you know what? Your boy has hit the gym for 3 days straight. After being inconsistent for going like on and off. I am sore, man. My whole body is aching, but we've had some G Fuel, so I'm feeling good. We haven't been stuttering that much, and I'm feeling in a good mood. I really think if I stick to this consistent schedule, we should be good. Stop at 376? We can stop at 376. You know what? Yeah, we'll do that. 3 more chapters then? Okay, yeah, let's do that. We'll stop at 375. No, fucking kidding. All right, let's keep going. You know, I'll play this song later. Wait. Because I really... If you guys have played Nier, this was a damn good song. You'd hear this shit fucking every day. You either love the song or hate it, depending on how much you heard it. Stop at... Agree. Names are confusing. And RI is too good. But venerable. 476? Yeah, we can do like 3 more. Damn, there's like 40 of you guys here. Thank you. Alright. Let's just start to play this from the top. Liza P. Alright, let's continue. Chapter 374 is called Artificial Sleepwalking. I knew someone that sleptwalk. The stories I've heard, man. This shit is wild. Lawrence sat in the coffee shop booth, unable to stop himself from thinking about the hardships of the Abraham family over the years. Ever since they had split up into similar families and settled in other places, the Elder Council's control over the family members hit rock bottom. A great number of... Okay, we're definitely getting lore this stream, right? Ever since they had split up into similar families and settled in other places, the Elder Council's control over the family members hit rock bottom. A great number of Abrahams refused to advance in order to avoid the effects of the curse. Hence, many of them remained... Oh! The Abrahams! Yeah, I remember the curse. Yeah, okay. Now I remember. Yeah, thank you. Now I know what Romero meant when he mentioned the Mr. Door family. It's to avoid their curse. Okay. Many of them remained at sequence 8 or 9. Some didn't even attempt to become Beyonders, wishing to be ordinary people with a certain amount of knowledge so as to live a common, peaceful life. Wait, what was the dude that took his own life then? When Klein divined the dude's background. Whoa, I forgot his name. I forgot what that Abraham member's name was. I forgot. Sorry. I goofed right there. I actually forgot his name. Like when we hired Sharon as a bodyguard and we went underground. No, not... Oh, you're right. It was the Master Key origin. I forgot the name of that member. I forgot that Abraham's origin story. I mean, I remember his origin story. I forgot his name. Just a member of the family. He didn't take his own life. He just... Thank you, Romero. I thought he unalived himself. No, it was him losing control. It's because he lost control. Okay. The Elder Council believed that it was just an act of forgetting the family's honor, but it couldn't be harsh on such action since it was tantamount to self-destruction. In such a situation, the upper echelons of the Abraham family began to think of introducing changes. They imitated the teacher-apprentice inheritance system of the Life School of Thought, and they trained non-family members, hoping that once they had advanced to become high-sequence Beyonders, then they would in turn be able to help the Abraham family deal with the curse they had existed for about 1,500 years and find their ancestor Bethel Abraham, who had vanished in the War of the Four Emperors. Oh, that is heavy lore that I didn't remember. Okay. I did not remember that. The War of the Four Emperors. Okay. Good thing I'm updating my notes again. And we're going to go through Romero's lore section on Discord together soon. The plan started off smoothly, and the apprentices who didn't have to worry about the curse quickly became stronger and stronger under the Abraham family's meticulous nurturing. Without a short period of 10 years, there were several strong Sequence 5 individuals among them, while not a single person among the direct descendants of the Abraham family was Sequence 6. The trunk was too weak, but the branches were too strong. Hence, the seeds of tragedy were planted, and the ambitious apprentices began casting their sights on the powerful sealed artifacts that the Abraham family possessed. Their plot failed, but it also resulted in serious repercussions. All the non-family members at Sequence 6 and 5 were of the opinion that their positions within the Abraham family didn't match their own strength and that they couldn't be trusted, preventing them from being in possession of certain sealed artifacts. In the process of going back and forth with different difficult negotiations occurring and compromises between the two parties, an accident happened. One of them, Traveler Botus, was lured by the true creator into joining the Aurora Order, which led to a terrible disaster. In this disaster, the upper echelons of the Abraham family were almost completely destroyed. More than half of the few powerful sealed artifacts were lost, and only 3 were left. As a result, the Lawrence brothers, who had shared the same mother with Richard, died. Not only did Botus benefit greatly from it, but he also gathered all the Beyonder ingredients he needed, and with the help of the true creator, he successfully overcame the dangers and became a demigod, becoming one of the 5 saints of the Aurora Order, the Saint of Mystery. Wait until he finds out about the Lord of Mystery. That's when he's gonna be like, oh shit, I gotta step down. You're like, I'm only a saint. He's the Lord? Ooh. After the disaster, they rebuilt the Abraham's family. Elder council reflected over the actions of the past few years, but they couldn't find a solution to the problem. Emotions such as negatively, dejection, and hopelessness shrouded the hearts of the few remaining family members. Lawrence didn't wish to be placed in such an environment or face sightings and repressed emotions every day. He found a reason to leave the elder council, and came to Backland to look for his older brothers, Labiro, who had shared the same mother, and Sam, who didn't share the same mother. But now he suddenly realized that he was the only one remaining from his father's line. Damn, that's sad. He was already nearly 80 years old, and all his children had died in disasters brought about by the Botus. That is sad. He's all alone. Just recalling the past made him feel sorrow from the bottom of his heart. The most painful thing was that he couldn't see the hope for revenge, and he couldn't see the dawn of his clan's glory appearing once again. I'm already very old, and I was also injured before. Unless it's absolutely necessary, I wouldn't dare to use my Beyonder powers anymore, which would cause me to lose control or even cause a curse to descend. What is the future of the Abraham family? Lawrence took a sip of the Fermo coffee and fell into a long silence. That's sad. I feel so bad for him. Upon returning to his rented house, Forrest immediately entered the bedroom and locked the wooden door behind her. She sat on the edge of the table, calmed her mind, and whispered the honorific name representing the hope in the future. The fool that doesn't belong to this era. You are the mysterious ruler above the great fog. You are the true king of yellow and black who wields good luck. I wish to inform you of what I have encountered today. I met the elder brother, the husband of the old lady who made me become an apprentice. He seems to be a member of a certain family. I didn't mention anything related to mysticism, but I'm worried that he has extremely powerful divination abilities and will be able to find out the complete truth. At this moment, Klein happened to be above the gray fog. What a coincidence. Okay. He saw the crimson star that represented the magician expand outward, rippling as he heard the stacked layers of pleas. I assume Volume 2 is called Magician. Klein is a magician, and we coincidentally got a new member. We got a new member called the Magician. So I'm assuming Volume 1 is Clown, Volume 2 is Magician. I'm locking in my Volume 2 name. I know somebody mentioned before, and I'm pretty sure I've read it, but I forgot. So which is good. Any reviews without spoilers for what? I'm going to start LM Tim 2. I need to go back. I've been saying it for like a month or two, but I need to make a Volume 1 review. I need to lock in and just do a review. You know, just pour my feelings out there. I lost my place. At this moment, Klein happened to be over the gray fog. Here later. After figuring out the details, Klein tapped to the edge of the ancient table and said to himself silently, how cautious for her to know to seek help from the fool. Besides, your guess isn't wrong. The corresponding sequence 7 for apprentice is astrologer. I think we know that. Having recently read the Book of Secrets thoroughly, he had quickly come up with a plan that would help him interfere with divination throughout rituals. I have to say, with the Book of Secrets and my advancement to Sequence 7, I am becoming more and more godlike when above the gray fog. Of course, for the time being, I'm still just an empty shell. Speaking of which, I've been acting in front of Miss Justice and Mr. Hangman several times, fooling them completely. Why didn't I receive any feedback from my spirituality? The speed at which I digest the potion doesn't seem to be getting faster as a result. Does it have to happen in the real world? Yes. It might be possible that their applause as an audience has been blocked by the gray fog, preventing them from directly affecting me. Just like, oh, what a coincidence. Just like how the eternal blazing sun and the true creator are unable to penetrate the gray fog to find this mysterious space. You know what's crazy? So Amon is trying to get into the gray fog. The eternal blazing sun and the true creator are unable to penetrate it, but they're also probably trying to get in. So there's a lot of people trying to get into this gray fog. This is not the anime, but Alotium. Anime tropes fail here. Wait, I'll reread that right now. I got you, Kim. Let's finish the chapter so we can fully digest this. I lost my place. I found my place. From the looks of it, the reaction between the gray fog and the mysterious space is very mechanical. It is not sentiment enough and it lacks intelligence. However, to me, this is actually a good thing. In the midst of this thoughts, Klein turned his knowledge into an ancient piece of goat skin and threw it into a crimson star that symbolized the magician. A boundless grayish-white fog suddenly filled the air in front of Four's eyes. An illusory yellowish-brown goatskin descended from the sky. When she saw the information written on it, she suddenly felt at peace. With Mr. Fool, Mr. Lawrence certainly wouldn't be able to get the correct revelations via divination. Four silently expressed her gratitude and busily prepared for the ritual. She had seen a lot of instances where evil spirits did harm to others. In fact, she didn't trust the Fool that much, but the curse of the full moon forced her to rely on him. Regardless of how bad the consequences are, I would just lose my life. Without the help of Mr. Fool, I would have already lost control during the last blood moon and become a monster. Every day I live is a day gained. This all given to me by Mr. Fool, and how he'd take it back anytime? Well, it's best if he doesn't. Force took a breath and lit the two candles that symbolize the Fool. The initial steps of the ritual were no different from those she had mastered before. She continued until the candles were lit and the essential oils extracted and herbal powders went down into the fire. When the fragrance of restrained etherealness filled the room, a faint illusionary fog covered the entire altar. According to the contents of the goatskin, Force quickly adjusted her body and mind, entering the cognition and chanted the corresponding names of the Fool over and over again. Such monotonous, repetitive behaviors allow the originally calm and relaxed Force to slowly enter a state where the mind was in deep sleep with her spirituality dispersed. Her entire being felt groggy, but she maintained a strange sense of lucidness. She felt as if her spirit was floating about, constantly moving upwards. This was similar to the secret deed process that was formed with the help of the external objects. This was different in many ways. This was a technique in mediumship, and it was used to communicate with higher levels of spirits. At any extremum, I read that wrong. Sorry. Romero. It could even allow a Beyonder to travel the spirit world under the pretext of maintaining a special lucidness. Some Beyonders who specialize in influencing the mind called it artificial sleepwalking. They could use techniques such as hypnosis to make ordinary potential enter this state as well. In that way, ordinary people would appear to be in a deep slumber, yet they would be able to answer the questions. Although their eyes and mouths were closed, they could detect the presence of various spirit bodies around them, thus completing a certain degree of communication. The reason why Klein didn't let Force use the secret deed ritual was that it could only give knowledge or direct effects such as purification or corruption, letting the target's mind gain a wonderful experience. It couldn't interfere with the divination of other matters done by another person. Simply put, the secret deed ritual directly affected the target's spirit body, astral projection, body of heart and mind, and ether body. Ether. So spirit body? Wait. Spirit body, astral projection, body of heart and mind, and ether body? There are so many types of body types here. Hold up. I'm kind of lost. I thought it was only 3. Oh, we can talk about that though. The related positive and negative states were removed, and with the artificial sleepwalking ritual, it allowed Klein to do something indirect so as to deal with any outside interference. In a day's Force felt her drifting back to the majestic old palace above the gray fog, and she saw Mr. Fool sitting high above. Looking down at everything, Klein looked at the image of the magician, projected by the dark red starlight. He unhurriedly picked up a paper figurine that had found earlier from his trash pile in the corner. As a seer who had just advanced twice, he made many ways to interfere with the divination of others, so he didn't need to rely on mystical items to help him. At this moment, due to the effects of the ritual, the mysterious space above the gray fog started to tremble slightly, and some of the power was flowing due to the perturbation. I read that wrong. Klein left hand pressed the Dark Emperor card on the surface of the long bronze table, connecting it with his own spirit body and uplifting himself to a higher level. It raised his level just like the previous time he used the flaring sun charm and the Zig's copper whistle to solidify his spirit body. The paper figure suddenly expanded in size, and on its back the same 12 pairs of black wings which were cut out of the paper grew out. The feathers were vivid and lifelike. The paper angel, I like how we're putting angel and asterisks, pierced through the dark red light and overlapped with the illusionary figure of the magician. Without any warning, it started to burn and completely disappeared. The half-awake force seemed to be as dignified and majestic angel as it was wrapped layer upon layers of pitch-black wings around her. After an unknown period of time, Force suddenly woke from her artificial sleepwalking state. In front of her were only 3 candles quietly burning, one on the altar in the fog that had premated the entire premated you know what I meant. The entire room. At the tip of her nose was the familiar fragrance of the serene etherealness. Angel. Forge was so lost in thought, she momentarily forgot to end the ritual. Okay. That was pretty hype. She was literally awestruck. Why is the next chapter called an evil god impressive act? Are we referencing Klein? All right, let's pause, update, and let's keep going, dude. Let's keep going. Let's fucking keep reading. Wait, people had their expectations too high for LOTM 2, and that's why the reviews are so mixed. Oh, we got a mixed ending for COI. Klein feels the most reliable. I'll stop right there. But you guys are talking about COI, right? Koi, however you pronounce it. Klein and evil god for. I don't know if they're referencing God. I don't know if they're referencing Klein or what the fuck. Praise the fool. He had 24 winged angels under his control. Meanwhile, it's just paper cutout he made out of newspaper. He's just a paper figurine. Can you get a 372? No, I. What do you mean? 372? 372 was a while ago, bro. We're at 375. Hold up. I might read 375 last. This is probably gonna be my last chapter, and then tomorrow we're gonna have to start with 376. Just heads up. Yeah. Let me do my timestamp. What the fuck? I messed up my timestamps right here. I mean, 382? No, I'm sorry, man. I can't stream that long. Because technically, this is my free time. Like, me streaming is my free time. Get to 380? No. I'll next time. Yeah. Like, I still can't ignore, you know, like, my immediate circle. I still can't, like, ignore Miss Easy Geeky. Or I still can't ignore my dog, right? But it's like, I still have to spend time with them. It'd be mean if I don't. But I know we gotta lock in on the grind, man. So we're gonna lock in on the grind. Romero's hearing the mad ravings, man. That's what's going on right now. He's fucking hearing the mad ravings. Alright, let's update this. Let's go up here. Oh, almost deleted that by accident. We don't want that to happen. Hold up, bear with me. Yeah, we'll do one more. Your dog is not your dog. You're her human. Dude, I'm her everything, man. Ellie Almighty. Nah, yeah, we gotta take Ellie on a walk. Then stop at 370. We'll read 375, and then tomorrow we'll start with 376. Tomorrow we'll go live at the same time. At least 110 chapters. Woo, we're almost done. Right? How close are we? Yeah, I know. I think if I lock in and I read 20 chapters, we can finish in 2 weeks. Or a week. We can finish in a week. Trust. 20 chapters for 5 streams in a row and we'll be done. Okay, maybe not 20 chapters in a row. But we're almost there, right? Just like how when we finish, like, look, you guys gotta prepare me. When we know shit is like, you can tell me like, hey man, like when we're like at this point, you need to lock in. We want to lock in. I will make some free time and we will make it happen. Maybe like from Friday to Sunday. I remember, brother, you need to read full Bible. So you're going to be an entire volume ahead of Anime Wiz. That is the plan. Until we are 2 volumes ahead. No, I'm fucking kidding. You know, I'm actually kind of scared to talk to him. Because I gotta make sure I don't spoil him. 10 chapters? I'm trying to do like 25 chapters a stream. I'm trying to cut it, you know? Klein actually... So Klein is gonna tell me when to lock in? Bet. Alright. That's not a spoiler. When Klein tells me to lock in... That's how you know I got like this Friday to Sunday. You know how we feel? You know how we feel? Romero's telling you the truth and nothing but the truth. Not accidentally spoiling. No, it's okay. I don't even know what you guys... No, it's okay. There's been no spoilers. Okay, we're good. I like that. Thank you. Thank you for the subtle hints. You know, you guys are hyping me up. All right, let's do one more chapter. Can't wait for the stream-a-thon. Bet. All right, let's do... We're going to do one more chapter. No, yeah, we'll do one chapter. We're going to stop here at 75, and then tomorrow we'll start at 376. I don't think LTM anime... Me would be a major hit. Anime industry has brain. You know what? Kim, yes and no. Now the solid pen with the boom pad would make reading impossible. No. We're gonna lock in right now. Here, look, right here. One more chapter. All right, we updated up here. Yes. All right, last chapter for today's stream. But chapter 375 is called An Evil God's Impressive Act. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think there were 12 pairs of wings according to the canon descriptions of the various churches. That's an angel of the highest rank. Forrest tried to recall what she had seen in her reverie. She was both shocked and not that shocked, as if she had encountered was a shocking event that she had previously taken for granted but has simply never encountered it before. It isn't surprising that Mr. Fool has the services of an angel. From the fact that Miss Justice, so they think the angel is like her disciple or whatever, his disciple. For the fact that Miss Justice and Mr. Hanged Man occasionally use the word him to refer to him, one can imagine so. The fact that he's able to isolate the effects of the moon ravings allows me to infer. However, my request was only to interfere with Mr. Lawrence's divination, yet he actually made an angel protect me. Isn't this too extravagant, or is this just a routine act for him? One more problem. Why are there feathers on the angel wings black? Does this signify the degeneracy or death? Oh. What is the true identity of Mr. Full? Which great being is he? Death, who was rumored to have died in the Pale Era, he wishes to be reborn through the Tarot gatherings. Four suddenly took... Dude, they all have their own thoughts. Like, Audrey's like, oh my god, Mr. Full is so cool. Olga's like, I must be respectable. Derek is just curious. And now Fours is like, oh my god. Like, he is an evil spawn. Everybody has their own interpretation of Klein, and I like that. I like that. Forrest suddenly took a deep breath, completely unconcerned that the gentleman named Lawrence would find anything wrong with her through his divination. On the realization that she had already joined the Terror Club, she smiled wildly and whispered silently, I can only do as Emperor Rizal said, take things one step at a time. After gathering her thoughts, Forrest humbly thanked Mr. Fool once more. Following the normal process of a ritual, she extinguished the 3 candles' flames and began to clear the altar, which was filled with all kinds of items. Above the gray fog, Klein temporarily put the matter of the Abraham family at the back of his mind. According to his original plan, he conjured a pen and paper and wrote the following divination statements. Daisy's current situation. Putting the fountain pen away, Klein stacked Daisy's vocabulary book and the piece of paper with a divination statement on it and held it in his left hand. Then, leaning back in his chair, he entered a state of cognition, reciting the words, Daisy's current situation, over and over again. After 7 times, Klein fell silent, his eyes black with a hint of red before grayness surfaced in them. One scene after another began to flash. Some were contagious. Some were contagious? Oh my, I don't know what I'm reading. Some had gaps and some were completely incoherent. Klein saw Liv's youngest daughter, a 13 or 14-year-old girl who persisted despite being repeatedly scalded. Scalded. She was dragged into a remote alley by a man wearing a heavy jacket, a grayish black cap. We've seen this description before. Isn't this the Abraham dude? By a man wearing a heavy jacket and a grayish black cap. This was the Abraham guy. After he covered her mouth with a handkerchief from behind. Another man who was dressed the same took her legs and they lifted her as they quickly walked away. Their destination was a carriage parked outside the alley. The whole incident was over in less than a minute or two. And by the time Daisy's sister Fraser returned to search for Daisy, the carriage was already gone. Within the carriage, a sharp, ice-cold dagger was held to the muddled head, Daisy's face, and lewd threats rang in their ears. The carriage drove into the luxurious villa. Oh, the same carriage guy. Oh, it's the same carriage dude. Ah, remember, he was like hinting like, oh, a lot of people come here, right? We got him. I'm somewhat of a detective myself. Now that's next level cooking. You know why the carriage guy probably said that? He was probably eyeing Klein to see if he can be a potential victim as well. I thought he said the plot chickens. D. Daisy was in a small dark room, and from time to time the sounds of women's cries, screams, and curses echoed outside. Daisy woke up and cried out for help, but the door was open and she was kicked away. The pain made it impossible for her to get up. She wept as she continued to cry Mother and Frasier. Oh, that's hard to read, man. Klein opened his eyes and realized the paper he had held in his left hand had already been crumbled by the tight grip. He had established that Capim was the mastermind. That's what I'm talking about. Capim was the mastermind behind the many disappearances of the young ladies, and that he was the boss of a criminal organization. The problem, however, was that the case shouldn't and couldn't involve the powerful Beyonder forces. At most, there were be a few money-hungry Beyonders at sequence 7, 8, or 9, and they were helping out. It would have made the Klein's spiritual intuition give him warnings and intense danger the moment he approached the villa. Is Captain himself a sequence 6 or even a sequence 5 Beyonder? He's taking one now. He can do it again. He can fight him again. However, it's not difficult for a Beyonder of this level to earn money. There's no need to do such dirty and complicated matters. He just has to find all the gangs and collect protection fees via protection racket. It would be easy and it wouldn't dirty his hands. Could there be some kind of hidden plot behind Capim's human trafficking? As he pondered, Klein used the power of the gray fog to restore Daisy's vocabulary book to its original state. After a few seconds of silence, he took out another piece of goat skin and wrote a new divination statement. Saving Daisy is a dangerous matter. After reading it carefully twice, Klein removed the spirit pendulum from his left wrist, letting the topaz pendant fall and hang above the surface of the paper, almost to the point of touching the statement. After taking a few seconds to compose himself, he closed his eyes and began to recite the divination statement he had just written. When he finished reciting it, Klein opened his eyes and looked at the pendulum in his left hand. The topaz pendant was rotating clockwise at a fairly fast frequency and with a rather high amplitude, so a high degree of danger. This meant that saving Daisy was a rather dangerous act. However, it isn't one of total despair. This is so far his highest one. This is so far like his highest like pendulum swing. However, it isn't one of total disaster. There's still a possibility, a significant chance of success, as long as I can seize it. Klein deciphered the revelation from the spirit pendulum. He leaned back in his chair, closed his eyes, and said with a self-deprecating smile, "Wasn't I looking for an opportunity to perform?" Oh, if he saves all these people, he is going to like fully digest the potion. I'm calling it right now. If he can save Daisy and every other victim that like Capim has locked up, everybody's gonna applaud and thank Klein, man. Everyone's like, oh my god, our savior, and bam, he's gonna save it. Is that not what I said? I said the topaz pendant. My bad. I meant the topaz pendulum. You know what I mean. As a magician, I have to challenge something of a higher difficulty. Otherwise, I will be called a trick master and not a magician. Okay. All right. I like how Romero's talking smack monster. Everybody hypes him up. Monster's like, it's eh. As a magician, I have to challenge myself with something. I read this already. I would be called a trick master, not a magician. Completing the seemingly impossible, even if the outcome is nothing but an illusion. That's the image of a magician in my heart. As for whether it's of the rules or not, I still need confirmation. Klein tapped the edge of the ancient table and quickly made his decision. To him, the most troubling thing about saving Daisy and dealing with Capim was that he didn't know anything about Capim. He didn't know how many other Beyonders were in the villa or the sequence and the pathways they had. This made Klein unable to make specific preparations. And for a magician, the first rule was never perform unprepared. Many seemingly impromptuous performances actually involved the significant preparations. For example, long periods of practice or thorough mastery of the diverting attention away from the situation. Should I get Miss Justice's help to learn more about Capim's background for Maya Dorer, Klein seriously considered the options available to him. However, he quickly rejected the idea. So he's going to be solo. No, I won't be able to receive detailed information. Although Capim is involved with many powerful figures and the Wolfie, it's not something that can be publicized. Miss Justice will and most learn of the nobles, members of parliament, or civil servants which he is involved with, but she won't be able to determine how many Beyonders are in his villa, much less the traps or the layouts. Through the clues from the connections, Miss Justice might be able to figure out what I wish to know given a few weeks' time, but that's too slow. Rescuing Daisy needs to be done as soon as possible, and delays will result in a tragedy. Klein's eyes swept across the surface on the long bronze table, and on the junk pile in the corner, his mind began to formulate an idea. On one hand, I can get Miss Magician and her friend Miss Gio to investigate Captain's background and determine which Beyonders he has ties with. The two ladies are very well connected in Eastboro, several gangs, and a considerable number of Beyonder circles. On the other hand, I can take action by myself. I can obtain information from the servants or bodyguards that come out of Capim's villas via mediumship. After finalizing his plan, Klein was in no hurry to get help from Miss Justice's magician. He decided to try doing it by himself first so that he could find out more about the matter in a targeted manner. In the blink of an eye, his figure disappeared from the towering place above the gray fog. After lunch, a man wearing a grayish-black cap and a thick cotton coat cautiously left the back door of Capim Villas. He walked all the way to a crossroads and got into a rental carriage. Eastboro. He touched the dark red birthmark on his face and instructed the carriage driver. The carriage driver began to move, and the man looked out the window with a bored expression, admiring the beautiful ladies and young ladies in the street. If only we could... What the f... He's just saying it out loud in front of Klein. Wait, no, we're not with Klein. Sorry. POV change. If only we could kidnap them. The man let his imagination run wild as he revealed a regretful expression. When he was far from Iris Street, he suddenly shivered and his eyes became slightly dazed. He knocked on the wall and said to the carriage driver, Stop. I forgot something. Here will do. The carriage driver didn't dare to reprimand the ferocious man. He didn't even mutter as he stopped the carriage by the side of the street and allowed him to alight. After paying 6 pence for the ride, the man retraced the direction in which he came from dozens of meters before entering a cheap hotel. Without the need for any proof of identity, he paid for a room. After entering, he left the door ajar without locking it. Then the mat sat on the edge of the bed with a deadpan expression. Suddenly, a transparent and illusory figure to separate from his body. A parasite. Amon? The one bound to Leonard. Or another parasite. The plot thickens. Okay. It was none other than Klein who's... Wait. A transparent and illusionary figure separated from his body. It was none other than Klein who had dressed as a worker. He had used the method of summoning himself to transform into a spirit body and had attached itself to the man's body, allowing him to walk to a convenient location for mediumship. Oh, wait. Klein kind of acted like a parasite. So we know Amon's pathway can interchange with a seer. I forgot what else was mentioned. Apprentice? So maybe Klein would eventually become a parasite, and then he can like latch himself onto everybody, right? And then that goes back to what we read in this stream, like everybody's like subconsciously connected in some way, and we're referencing him, and then maybe Klein was him all along, right? Like him. You don't recognize Mount Tai? You're counting death. I don't know what you guys are talking about. But we'll talk about that right now. I need to see what you guys have been talking about. I've been missing chat, dude. I've been missing some chat lore today. After knocking, the man out Klein's spirit form disappeared from the room. Not long after, the door was pushed open and he walked into the room in his corporeal form. Using a wall of spirituality to seal the place, Klein quickly set up a mediumship ritual, allowing the alluring scent of Amantha extract in the eye of the spirit medicine to emanate in the surroundings. After finishing his preparations, and just as he was about to start the mediumships, he suddenly exclaimed and stopped his actions. He discovered that the spirit body of the man who was unconscious on the bed had a mysterious, unknown restriction. If he forcefully did the mediumships, although there was a high probability of success, it would activate the seal and cause some Beyonders to notice this occurrence. This would end up all alerting the enemy. Such a strange beyond power, very cautious and very powerful. What Captain is involved in isn't simple at all. So there's a deeper mystery behind this. Klein took a few steps forward, frowning slightly. He glanced at the unconscious man and suddenly chuckled. Do you think you can stop me with just this? He quickly suspended the ritual. Wait, was that him talking to him? Do you think you can stop me with just this? Oh no, Clang was saying that. He quickly suspended the ritual, summoned himself again, and responded to himself. After a few seconds later, he flew out of the candle's flame in the spirit body form and floated in the room once more. Without any hesitation, Klein in the spirit form suddenly approached and possessed the unconscious man. The man suddenly sat up and opened his eyes. His expression appeared lifeless. He straightened his body and walked to the front of the altar, step by step, and then chanted in a low voice, "The fool that doesn't belong to this era. You are a mysterious ruler above the gray fog. You are the king of yellow and black who wields good luck." Okay. We are starting to get a lot. Wait, let me pause update and let's do overall thoughts before we end the video. Hold up. There's something going on with the Abrahams. Hold up, man. Romero Mantis finding cicadas? What's going on? Not knowing. I don't know. What are you guys talking about? What have I been missing? I've missed some chat lore. I can tell. I've missed some lore. We're going to do overall thoughts. We're going to end the video there, but we're going to keep the live stream going for a few minutes after because I still want to play a few more songs that could potentially make the playlist. Where is my dude Beauty? You're looking at him. We're talking cultivation talk. What's cultivation talk? What is that? I don't think I've heard of cultivation talk. An hour, 47 minutes, 52 seconds. Overall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? Did we read 8 fucking chapters? We actually read a lot. I thought we read like 5 or 6 chapters, but we read a fair bit. That's pretty hype. Sorry, Easy. I won't be able to stay for the afterthought. I need to go to sleep. Bye, everyone. No, it's okay, D. Thank you for tuning in for a little bit. No, it's okay, man. I know time zones are so bad for us. Like on weekends, I have to stream at the opposite time to compensate for EU time. Comment Romero Elteg. Fanfic. What the fuck? Bye. Sorry, Easy. I won't be. Wait. Romero said, Jade Beauty. Type of web novel RI is 1. Okay. Cultivation is peak. You guys, I've heard talk about cultivation. You used to read 20? I know, man. I'm getting old and grumpy, man. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, no, I remember. Fuck, we read like 20 chapters when we were finishing volume 1, dude. I remember that. Fuck, we read a lot. We had like a 9-hour stream, and then we had like a fucking 6-hour stream. You have eyes but fail to see Mount Tai. I've never read Mount Tai. I think I was talking about Mount. For a second, I thought you were talking about Mount House Sect. But let's do this outro before I start lampooning and get like redirected and talk about something else. Overall, I like what we're reading. There's a lot of setup going on. We're getting some stuff with not the Amon family. Well, yeah, we've been getting lore and build up on the Amon family. We've been getting build up and lore on the Abraham family. That's already 2 great families out of the 5 that we've been getting lore on in this volume. How all this connects to the Tudor dynasty, how all this connects to them like trying to like latch onto the great father. Well, not them per se, but like Amon, like how Amon is trying to latch onto like the great like how he's trying to interact with Klein or like the fool in some way. I don't know how this all is going to connect. My goat, Mr. Door. You guys have been hyping up Mr. Door. I'm excited. I'm excited to get more lore on Mr. Door. You guys have been talking about this man since day 1. Every time I open Reddit. Wait, how many Jade Beauties? You're looking at one right here. You're looking at a Jade Beauty right here, man. I'm the one and only you guys need. No, I'm fucking kidding. Overall thoughts. I got to get back on track. I like what we're reading. I'm excited to finish volume 2. We have roughly a little over what, like 100 chapters? So we should be done in 2 streams. We're almost done. We have about 2 more streams and we should be done with like the 100 chapters. But we'll see. I like how like now, well, speaking of him, I like how now Forge is like, oh my god, is he like him? I read 700 chapters long LOTM fanfics. I'm down to read some fanfics. If you guys have any spicy fanfics, send them my way. You know, we will read those live. But back on track. I like it. I'm excited to read more. I'm gonna end it there. Super short outro. If you like what you see and you want to see more, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. No, even the bad ships, we do them all. We'll do them all. We'll do them all. Wrong place. Bro is not deaf. He is not him. I don't know who he is. You, he, me, who? We will find out who he is referring to. Is he referring to him? Is him referring to me? You? I don't know. But we'll find out. Sorry. Scuffed outro. I forgot. We're still recording our outro. We should be pausing in between takes. Nah, I'm kidding. We don't do we don't do takes. One go. You know, we just pull the band-aid. All right, guys. You like what you see? Want to see more? Make sure you like, comment, sub, and peace. Have a beautiful day. All right, later, guys. All right. I stopped the recording. I have stopped the recording. Fuck cultivation. It's so ass. What do you mean, bro? People have been saying it's pretty good. People have been hyping it up. What are you talking about? Remember, you are he, not him. I don't know what that... You know what that reminds me of? It reminds me of that rush hour scene. You, who, me, everyone. No, I am you. You, no, me. Who? That was such a funny scene from Rush Hour. It's brain rot. You know what, man? I want to read some crazy ass fanfics with like... I don't know. Oh my god. Now it begins. Romero says it by like 3 times. Yo, like, should we make our own fanfic? Hold up. Let me gauge this. I'm gonna make my own fanfic. All right. I'm gonna make my own fanfic on our original bad ship. I'm gonna make a fanfic easy, then Pathway of Stalin. No, we did our outro. We're done reading. We're gonna continue tomorrow. This is extra. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do a fanfic. We're gonna read it over the weekend. It's gonna be a... Klein is in love with Madame Dally, and Madame Dally is like, no. I have feelings for Dunn Smith. I can't be with you. And then he's like, fine. Yeah, look, Kim read my mind. No. And it's gonna be saying, no, this can't happen. Kill it. Like, shut the fuck up. Okay, no, stop. No, but like, the end of the fanfic. But no, like, the end of the fanfic is her saying no. Which would be a good ending. Kill the heretic and grab his fucking Gabby. Don't you dare touch my dog. Don't you dare touch my Ellie. She's my daughter. She is my everything, man. She means the world to me. Take his air fryer. Yo, I make some damn ass good chicken with an air fryer. The end before the beginning. Better write Kleinek's bodyguard. Don't even consider this. Okay, look. If you guys let me read that to you, no more G Fuel for you, I will make a Klein X Sharon fanfic. I'll do that. You gotta give me like a troll video. Take his game subs. No. A fanfic about Sharon would be allowed. Okay. You already was okay. What if I do a fanfic of Klein and Leonard? Where is that? Cosplay as Sharon. Hold your ground, brothers. Hold your ground. Stay strong, brothers. Hold the line. No, I never lied. It's still happening, okay? I just haven't been able to buy anything. Hey, man. Green fluffy dresses are expensive, bro. You guys getting the brain rot? No, the fanfic is easy. The path of the staller. We're about to send to, like, the fanfic pathway. Klein X Sharon is just a default ship. I'm gonna make my own fanfic. I'm gonna work on this. Do a Klein X Lenevus fanfic. Shut the fuck up, bro. Unhinged. No, I don't actually mean go. I didn't mean it in a bad way, but that's fucking funny. Hold up. Let's write down some ships. Let's write this shit down, man. Hold up. We're gonna make our own fanfics and we're gonna read this shit on stream. So we got Klein. Hold up. I'm fucking guys. We are brainstorming here. Fan fix. Klein. X. Sharon. Bodyguard. Klein. X. Leonard. Would a Klein done ship happen? That way I can cope with his loss. Klein X done Smith. No? Old Neil X done ship. Unhinged, what the fuck? We should be recording it. This guy is incredible. As much as I hate to admit it, you're cooking. What did Boza say? We should be recording it. Easy, cook easy. Dally X Old Neil. No man, that's some wow. No. Old Neil's, I can't do that. I can't dishonor Old Neil's memory. No, I will not stand for that. We will not dishonor Old Neil's memory, his legacy like that. Hidden Sage Unhinged, bro. That is wild. Wait. Would people be... No, dude, I'll be honest. I feel like... Hollow... Wait, old... Bro, wait. What the fuck happened? What is going on? Hold up. You guys are getting kind of... You guys are getting kind of morbid with these ships. I'm just... All I'm gonna say, if I was to do... I'm gonna write it down, though. That is a video idea that is gonna stay in the oven for a while. Cleanse it? Yeah, we're gonna cleanse it. But, dude, if I were to do... I think people get mad at me. If I did an old Neil X Hidden Sage fanfic on them falling in love, I unironically think the Lord of the Mysteries community will fucking hate me. And we need to stop that. World needs justice. I don't think that is never gonna happen. Old Neil X Hidden... I don't think that's gonna happen. World X Justice? You said you were more unhinged than me. What do you think now? We're gonna cook a fanfic. Kim was timed out. I don't know what happened. If there's a spoiler, I don't know what happened. Do it. Enemy turn. Lover is goat. Bullseye. Wait, what got unsent? Are you guys shipping something? Okay. If there's like a ship that a lot of people are talking about, Unhinged is cooking. Romero's tipping people out. I don't know what happened. All right, we're gonna stop it. No, stop it. Unhinged is going for the crazy ships. Fuck, man. Hold up. These are some funny ideas. But we can't start off too strong with those crazy ships because people are gonna hate us. I'm liking the Sushi X Devil Dog, and we can do like a cute fanfic where they go on like a picnic date. Sushi. That one's going in the drafts, but we're gonna add it. Evil Dog. Please end the stream. Yeah, we're ending stream. We are ending stream. Stream is over. Stream is over. Message retracted. He used to be a priest. Bro, I don't know what's going on, man. Alright, those are some crazy ass fanfics. You know what? We can do like a cute fanfic where Lena Voos takes Melissa. No, wait, no, not what the Lena Megoose. Where Lena Voos takes Megoose out on a beautiful picnic. No? I think that was Unhinged. That's some brain rot. Okay, that's better. It's just a beautiful picnic. Like, he just treats her to a beautiful picnic. That's Unhinged too. But it's like tasteful Unhinged. But it's like, it's tasteful. Like, oh, they just go on a picnic. Lena Voos, ex Megoose. Well, Lena Voos was with Megoose. Cleanse this shit. Okay, but what? Please. Okay, we're done. We're done. What? Megoose's husband. What? Lena Voos hooked up with Megoose. That created the demon spawn. Right? Please? Okay, we're done. We're done with these crazy ships. What? Right? Yes. No. I don't know what's going on. Okay, we'll leave it there. What? Please? IDK about all the shipping talk. I only ship myself and Sharon. That's a pretty damn good ship, man. Hell yeah, brother. True creator X Dali. Romero's like, hold up, wait a minute. That's a pretty good ship. Like that's a pretty good video idea. All right, we'll leave it there. We'll leave it there. You know what? I'm down to make a funny ass fanfic of Sissy and the evil dog going out on the picnic. And then they accidentally speak to humans, and they're like, "What the fuck? Dogs can talk." Hold on, Lenavus X Magoose, but wholesome. Hold on, yeah. Look, we can make like a wholesome alternate reality where Lenavus wasn't a scum of the earth and actually treated Magoose right. So it's like we're giving Magoose the ending she deserved, right? Like in an username is end the stream already. This is too unhinged. Yeah, and like so we're giving Magoose the alternate world she deserved. I know that's canon. Okay, we're ending stream. Like, I know it's canon, but we have to give her, like, the beautiful ending. Alright, we're ending stream. Bye. Have a beautiful day. We had a beautiful, lovely conversation. I need to end stream. I need to go with my girl. I need to go with my puppy. I need to hang out with family. Ellie and my significant other are waiting for me. So we're going to end it there. Adieu. Me X4s. Alright, amen, brother. Amen, brothers and sisters. Alright, guys. Peace. Have a beautiful day. Easy Geeky X Klein. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna write that one down. Unhinged. Hold up. Wait, that's a pretty good one. Easy Geeky grabs Klein's hand. Oh, whoa. Hold up. Buckle up, guys. Ooh. I will cook you unhinged. That's gonna be a good one. Easy Geeky invites Klein out for some rye bread dinner. All right, and we'll work on it. That's gonna be a good one. That's good. Nah, bye. Like hell no. All right, bye guys. Push. Have a beautiful day. It got hot in here. I should turn on my fan. Stop. All right, guys. Peace. Later. Have a beautiful